Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, it's easy to connect to vibrant destinations across Europe. Whether you're sipping espresso in stylish Milan or raising a stein at Oktoberfest in Munich, Condor makes your journey just as enjoyable as your destination. With spacious cabins and relaxing service, your vacation starts the moment you board. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, earlier this year, my son and I flew to Spokane from here in Seattle. And a flight, it's about 1 hour. And our flight was delayed about 1 hour. And normally that would be very annoying, but on a flight that short, honestly, I didn't care. Well, yesterday, a flight from Seattle to Walla Walla, also about a 1 hour flight. It was delayed for over 3 hours after a passenger made a comment about a bomb on the plane. They're not saying what his comment was. It's described as a flippant comment about a bomb on the plane. Now, there was not a bomb on the plane, but it took authorities 3 hours to make sure of that. The entire plane was deboarded. Runways were shut down. Basically, the entire airport was affected, and that is incredibly frustrating. But I'd rather have my flight delayed because some idiot says there's a bomb on the plane than be preparing myself to fly for 13 hours from Taiwan to Australia. You see, right before takeoff, a guy on that flight, turns out the man behind him stood up right before the plane took off, and no one could figure out why. And then he proceeded to throw up all over the man in the seat in front of him. And in case you're wondering, witnesses said the vomit smelled of booze and ginger duck. Side note, I kind of like this guy's appetite. Anyway, these are just some of the stories that we've come across. Stories that left us with many questions. Questions we'd like to ask you in the form of a random question brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration. And this is how it works. You call us, we'll ask you a question at complete random. And after you share your story, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
To be a part of the big show, the random question, call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, it's easy to connect to vibrant destinations across Europe. Whether you're sipping espresso in stylish Milan or raising a stein at Oktoberfest in Munich, Condor makes your journey just as enjoyable as your destination. With spacious cabins and relaxing service, your vacation starts the moment you board. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max Hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last, so don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
You know how we all have that one friend we go to with all our financial questions? I'm talking the one who gives you advice like no one else can. Well, meet Experian, your BFF. And by that, I mean big financial friend. I'm telling you, Experian is going to be your go-to app when it comes to taking control of your finances. And this big financial friend is always there for you, just hanging out on your phone, where we all kind of are anyway. Experian has a bunch of legit ways to help you save. And get this, the Experian app lets you check your FICO score, matches you with credit cards, and a bunch more totally BFF kind of things to help you manage your finances. Bet your other BFFs can't do all that, huh? Anyway, it's easy to have this big financial friend by your side. Just download the Experian app and get started for free. Trust me, you'll be up to speed with this BFF in no time. Results will vary. Credit offers, approvals, and reward programs based on FICO Score 8 model and subject to lender terms. Offers not available in all states. See Experian.com for details.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, but Charles, away we go. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season, episode number 4,338. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat with the exciting return of Your Guess Is As Good As Mine coming up at 4:30. The categories today. We have the happiest and the unhappiest states in the United States of America.
All right.
Okay? And it basically is pretty well what you would expect as far as where people choose to live.
Sure.
Sunshine makes people happy.
All right.
Poverty does not. Just so you know.
Who knew?
State's a little bit...
Can sunshine override poverty?
You're tracking with me. There's a couple of
in this
places.
instance,
Right.
yes.
Lots of sunshine, lots of poverty.
But sometimes they don't mix well.
Okay.
So, for an example, a state like New Mexico.
Yeah.
All right. For whatever reason, I've never been to New Mexico, so I can't attest to any of this. But they do not do as well as other sunny states.
Really?
For some reason. For whatever reason, that
I've heard bad things about New Mexico, but I've also been to New Mexico, and like anything, I'm sure the bad stuff exists. I just did not see it.
Yeah. And Arizona, they are a happy state. They're right next door. Weather's somewhat similar, not as mountainous, obviously, unless you're in Flagstaff, but either way. So you can pick either you want to go happy, you want to go unhappy on that category. Then this is a new twist, and your guess is as good as mine. We're changing the game up a little bit here. If you pick the category of beer. So what we have is we have a list of the most recognizable beer in every single state in the United States of America. All right?
Recognizable beer per state.
That is exactly right. So, in other words, okay, you are going to pick the state that you feel comfortable, that you know the beer that is the most iconic and is the one that basically represents their state more than any others. Now, one thing they did do is they took out all the big guys. So if the state
if you go to Missouri, it's not Bud.
Correct. If you go to Colorado, it's not going to be Coors or Coors Light.
Okay.
If you're in Wisconsin,
it's not Miller.
It's not going to be Miller Light. But on the flip side, what would you guys say here in Washington?
Probably Rainier.
That is not correct.
Olympia.
It's actually a men's room IPA from Black Raven.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yes, it is Rainier.
God damn,
It is
Thrill.
Rainier. Okay.
Did you wake up on the dumb side of the bed today?
Right. Yeah. Massachusetts, Ted. Massachusetts.
Sam Adams.
Sam Adams. Boston Lager. So that's the game.
All right.
So if you've been to a place, you've drank the local swill, you basically pick the state, all right? And then you guess what that beer is going to be. And some are iconic enough where you know these. And even if you've never tried these beers, they are iconic within their state.
Sure.
Like Texas.
Pennsylvania.
Yingling, Rolling Rock.
Yingling.
All right.
Yingling is the most iconic beer. Not only is it the oldest brewery, it is the most popular local brewery.
So they're not all local swills.
What do you mean?
Well, you say PA, I would think Genesee is like local swill.
Genesee is in New York.
Oh, my bad.
Yes.
And that's not a brag.
God, it turns out I got up on the top side.
That's right. So just a bit. But you get the idea how we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So based on where you've traveled and other things, you're going to pick the state first and then see if you can guess what the most popular beer is in that particular state. So those are your categories coming up with Your Guess Is As Good As Mine. And today is the day that we do our random question 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Andy. Welcome to the men's room.
No.
Hola. Andy, welcome to the men's room random question. Let's go with this one. Since we're talking about what's local to you, what would you say is the one thing, good or bad, that your hometown is known for? The place that you grew up.
You got anything, Mike? Enumclaw?
Nothing at all.
See what I'm saying here? Andy, do you get the idea now?
Casey Cade.
I do, but I grew up in that little town called Kelso, Washington.
Okay.
All right.
So what is Kelso known for?
Honestly, the lumber mills down on the water.
Okay.
And a lot of drinking.
All right.
I think those things go hand in hand.
Now, is it like Longview, where you get that smell?
Yeah. Yeah. Long, yeah.
I mean, they're close.
Now, does that ever
Should
go?
it be called Long Pew?
Does that ever go away? Does that smell from the lumber yard, or did you get? What I'm saying is, do you get used to it to the point where you really don't notice it anymore, or do you smell it all the time?
No, you smell it all the time.
Really? You never adjust. That's unfortunate, man.
See, I would just assume like the smell of Grandma's house. When I walk in the door for the first time, I get hit by this whiff of smell.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. And then after 2 or 3 days hanging out with Mom and Grandma, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Then I come home and I open up my suitcase, and guess what I smell again? I smell Grandma's house, because that's just how it smells.
Yeah, my father, when we first moved to Baltimore, he worked at McCormick. And at that time, the offices and the spice factory were all in the same building. So all of his suits, the overriding smell was black pepper, but it's just like every spice. And there's nothing you could do about it. And if you visited downtown Baltimore at the time, the entire downtown smelled like that. All right, it wasn't bad. It was nothing like Longview or anything like that. It is spices, but like I said, it was like being mildly pepper sprayed all the time.
Okay.
But like you said, we got nose blind to it. So we knew he worked at McCormick, but we forgot that he smelled like he fell into a barrel of spices, right? So
What was there any spice in particular, like pepper?
No, it's it smelled like black pepper predominantly, but you could tell it's like if you opened somebody's spice rack and you kind of smell them all at once.
Yeah.
Pepper seems to be overriding, but they're all there. But all of the suits smelled like dry cleaner couldn't get out. There's nothing you could do. He wasn't alone. Everyone that worked there smelled like this, but we forgot that it smelled like we're always cooking some Indian dish or something. So people will come over to our house like, ooh, what are you making?
hot dogs.
Well, we're looking at each other like, nobody's cooking anything. They're like, oh, nope, I can smell something. We're like, oh, God, right.
That's my dad.
It's my father's suit in his closet upstairs, man. Yeah, you absolutely.
So your
forget.
mom basically just had to get used to the fact that her man smelled like a spice rack.
It took us all a while, but then what we realized was if he would pick up like my buddies in the car, first thing they smell, and this could be the weekend now, so he's not even wearing the suit, but just it smells like spices in the car. He realized.
So if he sells his car, the people who buy this car, they're
it's going to smell. It smells like there's nothing
if
you
you
can
smoke
do.
in the car, you know that smell.
Right. He would get on a plane. They'd fly him to wherever the hell they flew him for all those kinds of things. And he's like, you forget about it, man. But I had to put on my suit. I get on the plane. Like everyone's staring at me and he can't figure it out. And he's like, oh, God. And the problem is you can't smell it anymore yourself. So he's like,
yeah,
I smell like a spice rack. Everyone knows it's me. I'm dressed well, but they think like he just found this suit somewhere, man.
Okay.
Like I hated it.
What's
Ted,
up, Chef?
Ted,
Yeah,
what would you
exactly.
say? What would you say? College Park. What would be
The Terps.
if it's one person? If it's a thing that happened?
Well, I mean, University of Maryland's a pretty big one.
Correct.
Yeah.
But taking that out of the equation. So what would the town be? Did something happen there? Was there any kind of?
And we have the
What-
oldest operating airport in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Famous people came out of there. They do all the time. I mean, when you look at like I don't know, Kevin Durant or some of the guys that were
Kevin Durant's not really from like he's from PG County.
You're from the
so
county,
like PG
right.
County, you could take in a lot of stars. But I'm trying to think of like College Park outside of counting people that went to the university.
I can't think of it.
So if you go down the road to Virginia Beach in that area, Norfolk, yeah, you want to talk about a athletes just
Yeah.
I mean,
Hotbed.
you name
Well,
the
PG
sport. You
now,
name the sport.
if you could do an area though, PG County. I mean, if you look in the NBA right now, I mean, Kevin Durant made a whole movie about it. It's not just DeMatha. I mean, there's so many guys in the NBA from that area
Just
that
that
play on
area.
these same teams. Like literally, I think it was called "There's Something in the Water." So they're just like, how do they? all
there's
get-
something in the water. This is not good.
Well, it also helps out that the biggest thing in PG County, frankly, is like you have Greenbelt, which was the first like made suburb.
All right.
Forget which
So
president.
it wasn't really Columbia.
That one was the first one made, I think, by like a free like a company, but
Yeah,
like Greenbelt
right.
was like there was a co-op, there was this and that. You had your grass had to be a certain length. The president's wife made it, and then a big thing in PG County, which we used all the time, was just these community centers.
Mm-hmm.
Every town had a community center. We knew which ones we could go to play ball in the summer and which ones we didn't go to.
Yeah.
So I think that's the everlasting thing that you get so many good ballers. Is like the gyms where like Durant and those guys play, there's just high level talent everywhere.
When you live someplace, you know it just as you know it.
What is your town known for? Like
right,
Baltimore,
I'll tell you.
I can claim, if nothing else, you say the national anthem. And look, it has a bad reputation.
Right.
It has earned a bad reputation, but the national anthem was in fact written.
So I have a different perspective on this, just because I don't live there anymore and I did not grow up there. So when you leave Baltimore, there's one question you get no matter what when you tell people you spend time there.
You've been shot?
Is it like The Wire?
Every time.
So that, to me, that is... I know there's a lot of history. There's Edgar Allan Poe. There's all kinds of stuff.
Edgar Allan Poe hated Baltimore.
There's a Babe Ruth museum. Babe Ruth didn't like Baltimore either.
You don't like
Nobody who grew up in Baltimore liked Baltimore.
Right, exactly.
But when you're not from there...
But to
you spend
answer
time
the
there,
question about The Wire, I tell everyone the same thing. I'm like, there are parts of Baltimore that are exactly like The Wire. But even people from Baltimore don't go to those parts of Baltimore that are like The Wire.
But that is very unique to Baltimore. No one else says that about a town. You could come from Chicago. All right.
Chicago PD.
PD's from Chicago. They got 9 million TV shows. It's one of the most violent cities in the United States of America. It's based on population and everything.
Sure.
It's a big city, and a lot of crap goes on there. But that's not really, what you affiliate Chicago with. Even though you know it exists, it's not really...
No, it's not its calling card.
It's not. Which, but Baltimore it is. And it's based on it's just based on The Wire.
That's
based
man.
on, before that, Homicide, Life on the Street.
It doesn't help when you call shows like Homicide, and there was one other one. There's Homicide, The Wire, and the other show, it also had a name like You Gonna Die, right? I mean, like, it's never a positive thing.
No.
I mean, where I grew up, College Park is pretty close to D.C., right? It's inside the Beltway. But then I lived in Baltimore for 3 years. Like, I would still probably rather live closer to D.C., but food scene-wise, I would take Baltimore every day of the week over, like, D.C.'s food scene.
I put Baltimore second to New Orleans as far as good food. I really do.
So I grew up in Morgantown, West Virginia, which is probably maybe the second or third biggest town. And there's a reason it's called Morgantown. It's a town, and Charleston's the capital. It's probably got the highest population. Huntington is a bigger city.
Huntington, yeah.
Also, once you get into the eastern panhandle, not really big towns, but there's more population because in that part of West Virginia, there is a rail line that runs to D.C.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, it's like a mini suburb of Washington, D.C. as far as commuting.
A lot of federal money there, yeah.
And a lot of people work there. But in Morgantown...
I used to work with people at the AFL-CIO who lived in West Virginia.
Took the
train in every day.
Yep. And they're used to it. They're used to the 45-minute commute. Not a big deal. They get on there. They do work on their computer. By the time they get to work, they've got half the crap done already, and it works out. But Morgantown has one unique thing that I have been asked about a number of times, but it's completely theirs and they own it. So in the event that West Virginia, whether it be basketball or football, wins a major game against anybody, that night, college kids... they will take the only couch that they own. Mm-hmm. They will pull it out of their living room.
Yep.
They will put it in the middle of the street. They will pour some kind of propellant on there, and they will catch the couch on fire, and they will party around the couch and drink beer while it burns. Now, the police, they just come, and they go, all right, guys, you got to get out of the street. Then they call the fire department. The fire department eventually shows up.
Right.
But it's not an urgent call because it's someone burning a couch.
It's a controlled
in the middle
burn.
of the street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, they're not in a hurry to get there. Half the time when they get there, the damn thing's already almost burned out on its own. So, but I have never heard of another place in the world. You would walk into someone's home, in their living room, and keep in mind these are college kids.
Yeah.
But in their living room, there would be a TV on a stand or whatever. There might be a chair in there. Couch, more than likely, has been burned.
Yeah.
Has been burned at some point in time. And a lot of the kids wait until the end of the year.
Of course.
And they'll burn it at the end of the school year. But either way, for some reason, you do not move a couch in Morgantown. You burn it in the middle of the street. I know that sounds like the stupidest, craziest thing.
I mean, they are pretty famous for that. College Park caught up and started doing it, too.
I was going to say.
I can't remember if it was West Virginia or College Park. One of them ended up burning it on the porch and, burnt down part of the house.
Okay.
I think that was Maryland.
And it's like, all right.
You're doing it wrong.
Right. It's not really fun anymore.
Now, to me, this is really, really interesting. The reason we asked, what is your hometown known for? When we moved here, and it's not this way anymore, what was Tacoma known for?
The Tacoma aroma.
The aroma of Tacoma, right? You'd smell that smell, just like Longview, but different kind of smell. So the story goes...
Smell it.
Between the 70s and 90s, the Pacific Northwest wasn't, I say, just a foggy haven for flannel and coffee. It was ground zero for some of the most notorious serial killers in American history. Ted Bundy, Hillside Strangler, Green River Killer, all emerged in the area around here in Tacoma.
Jeff, they just haven't caught him yet.
Yeah. But what caused the sudden urge in violence? Well, a Pulitzer Prize-winning author named Caroline Fraser, who was 7 years old and grew up just a few miles away during the Bundy murder spree in 1974, thinks she knows what connects all of these killers together. Toxic lead in the air.
Really?
In her new book, Murderland, Crime and Bloodlust in the Time of Serial Killers, she investigated the lead crime hypothesis, a theory that exposure to lead during childhood can result in increased criminal behavior later in life. They have actually proved this as far as lead poisoning and what it does to you.
All right.
So many studies connected to lead exposure of a particular kind do something to the frontal cortex that damages that.
Make you crazy.
And leads to heightened aggression. This is observed largely in males. And she says, as a native of the region, she suspects one possible reason why this could especially be big in the Pacific Northwest was the large smelter in the middle of Tacoma. All the emissions were being spread over not just Tacoma, but the entire Pacific Northwest in this plume that was up to 1,000 square miles. And although she says it's well accepted that between 20% and 50% of the drastic rise in crime during the 80s and 90s can be attributed to lead, the violence in our region at that time was an epidemic. Crime was up all over America, but in Washington state, it was above 30%, three times
Jesus, man.
the national average. And she admits that the lead crime hypothesis is still relatively new, and they're working on it, but having first gained some mainstream attention in the early 2010s. But she explains that the basis for the theory has been around for decades. In the 50s and 60s, a geochemist proved that lead exposure causes what he calls a loss of mental acuity. And there is a clear association between leaded gas in the 90s and the smelter and the drop-off in crime. She believes there's ample evidence to support the hypothesis. She says, I can't prove, for example, that Ted Bundy committed these crimes because of lead exposure. What I can do is show you how much lead exposure he got, and it was a lot in his area.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's great. But it almost makes you feel somewhat better to say, look, there is a definitive, environmental cause.
Might think it's lack of sun.
But then the flip side is, shouldn't there have been more serial killers? I mean, it's not like he lived in a house where all the lead particles
These are the
fell
ones
out.
that were caught.
Yeah, you know what? That is a very good point.
The best serial killer,
Still out there.
You don't know their name and never will.
But he's your neighbor.
More of the Random Question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, it's easy to connect to vibrant destinations across Europe. Whether you're sipping espresso in stylish Milan or raising a stein at Oktoberfest in Munich, Condor makes your journey just as enjoyable as your destination. With spacious cabins and relaxing service, your vacation starts the moment you board. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
You know how we all have that one friend we go to with all our financial questions? I'm talking the one who gives you advice like no one else can. Well, meet Experian, your BFF. And by that, I mean big financial friend. I'm telling you, Experian is going to be your go-to app when it comes to taking control of your finances. And this big financial friend is always there for you, just hanging out on your phone, where we all kinda are anyway. Experian has a bunch of legit ways to help you save. And get this, the Experian app lets you check your FICO score, matches you with credit cards, and a bunch more totally BFF kind of things to help you manage your finances. Bet your other BFFs can't do all that, huh? Anyway, it's easy to have this big financial friend by your side. Just download the Experian app and get started for free. Trust me, you'll be up to speed with this BFF in no time. Results will vary. Credit offers, approvals, and reward programs based on FICO Score 8 model and subject to lender terms. Offers not available in all states. See Experian.com for details.
Random question 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jerry. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Jerry, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's go with this one. Jerry, are you or anyone you know allergic to anything?
I'm not allergic to anything. I have a friend who's allergic to crustaceans, so no, that's the only thing.
Well,
interesting, though.
Well, it is because your throat swells up and you can't breathe.
I'd say it's interesting to him when everyone else is like, ooh, shrimp.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's his problem.
Okay, all right.
Has he had this allergy as long as you've known him, or is this something he discovered after you guys became friends?
No, it grew. Actually, you know what? I do know something I'm allergic to. I'm allergic to alcohol.
Yes.
So do you stay away from alcohol because of this allergy?
I do. Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, you know,
I didn't think.
So how long have you been clean?
Tomorrow will be 4 months this go around, but I've been off and on for about 20 years or so.
What inspired this latest hiatus from alcohol?
I just went on not going to prison this time, but realizing I was going back to prison. I was driving around, drinking, and doing other stuff, and not that it's good. That's why I stopped. You know what I mean? But honestly, that's why I did it. I'm just living life terrible.
Well, was alcohol the reason for the other stuff? In other words, if you started drinking, did that lead to other things?
Yeah, exactly. It used to be I would have a few beers and then I'd want a cigarette, like that.
All right.
And then that's what it was like after I started, I get to like 2 beers. I'm like, I'm going to make a call,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Hey, man, it's me. I only call you for one reason.
Right. And there's a lot of different phone calls you can make on that tip. It doesn't necessarily need to be drugs.
Doesn't have to be.
You could call someone over. There's a lot of different things.
I feel like booty calls to drug dealers, they know why you're calling as soon as they see your name. It is the only reason this person calls you.
And sometimes the booty call doesn't get called till later in the night. But I'm with Thrill. The way he's saying it just sounds like there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, to stop drinking is I can't drink without being like calling my guy for a bag.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Right.
See, I don't need drinks for that.
I saw
anytime.
Some people just call, yeah.
I saw a buddy of mine over the weekend, and I know he and his wife very well. And his wife was out of town this weekend in California doing business or whatever. And she said, tell Miles you don't have any drugs on you. And I said, you tell your wife that she's the one that always has drugs on her. That's why I ask.
Right.
So, yes, I might ask, but you always got them.
Yeah, I mean, if the answer is always yes, then you're my source.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you mean. You're not wrong, but you're the one who's got the drugs.
That's a good person to know.
Yeah, whatever. So the reason we asked, what are you allergic to? This is not a good story, by the way. After graduating from the University of Rhode Island, Timothy Howard had his whole life ahead of him. But the future was tragically cut short when he died just days later from a severe allergic reaction to a late-night snack. A chocolate bar that contained peanuts, according to his mom. Tim's whole body went into shock. He went into his parents' bedroom. They gave him an EpiPen, but the reaction was very fast. And I guess the EpiPen did not work. So now his family is sharing their story to prevent other families from having to go through anything like this. His sister says, manufacturers need to make food labels clear instead of relying on may contain. His dad, Tim, said the individuals also need to be careful. If you have an allergy, you need to read the labels. And they say food allergies impact more than 33 million people a year in the United States.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You guys, anybody in here allergic to anything?
No, and it's weird. Like, so far, I've had no food allergies.
You're lactose intolerant, man.
Well, is that an allergy?
I mean,
I guess it kind of is, yeah.
I was just saying, I think Mike's right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's that, but nothing that's going to kill me. But I always hate when you go to the doctor and they ask if you're allergic to, and then they fill in the blank with stuff I've never heard of, right? Because I'm about to give you a shot or about to give you some cocktail, whatever. Like, hey, are you allergic to blank? And I'm like, honest to God, man, we're going to find out. I have no idea.
It's typically anesthesia.
Right, I don't know. You might kill me, man, but we'll find out together is the thing. But like my wife, I don't know what sulfas are, but I know it's in certain medications. But she always gets asked, are you allergic to sulfas? And she says, yes. And I said, how did you find out you're allergic to sulfas? She's like, when they gave me sulfas, and then I had a bad allergic reaction.
Yeah.
That's the only way to find that out. So every time they ask me, I'm like, I don't know.
My wife is allergic to bananas.
Allergic?
Allergic to bananas.
Is she a bee?
It's right. It's not like she breaks out in the hives or anything like that. It just messes up her guts.
Really?
She'll have a banana, and she has the worst stomach pains for the next 24 hours.
Huh.
Yeah.
Does she eat bananas with any regularity? I mean, are
Not
they good
really.
enough to her that she's like, I know this is like, if
Well,
you give me a chocolate shake.
Is it potassium or is it the banana?
I think it's the banana, but to be honest with you, Miles, I don't know for sure. I feel like she takes potassium supplements, but
because she can't eat bananas.
Right. She makes smoothies all the time. She makes smoothie bowls and whatnot. Like, she'd like to throw a banana in there, but at the same time, it's like she can't.
So she puts a smoothie in a banana. That's all
Well,
she wants.
believe it or not, the one fruit you're not supposed to put in a smoothie is a banana.
Really?
Why?
It does something with the other fruits and their acids and the good stuff those other fruits can do. I read a whole article on it a couple weeks ago.
So no, wait. Does it just reduce the nutritional value of the other fruits?
Correct,
Or
right.
does
It
do
can't be
something
that bad.
Well, it's killing something in the other fruits that is good for you.
Okay.
And I don't know how, like, it somehow neutralizes the goodness of strawberries.
Can I eat like a handful of strawberries and then have a banana, or does that cancel it out too?
So another,
the article basically just said, don't put a banana in your smoothie. So I don't know.
Because there's like
how far
acai
that-
bowls where they'll slice banana on top of it, but they won't put it in the actual.
Well, and like I'm sure it can do something, but it's got to be just a small amount,
I
right?
would think.
That's
Like,
like,
for
I mean, that's
me-
just one of those things, right? Like people are like, you should eat bananas for fat loss because they're highest in sugar of anything. And like like my buddy that's a trainer, he's like, nobody has ever come to me overweight and said, "This is bananas." I was eating the sugar of the bananas got me. It's like, so no
can't put 'em
chips,
down.
right? Like no fast food.
It's the bananas.
This is the bananas.
Bananas,
This-
man.
They got me. So Miles, I'm saying, like, I don't disagree.
Yeah, I like, it made no sense to me.
Sometimes they can be so specific or whatever.
Thank you. And for me, I drink a smoothie for the taste.
All right, so I do have a theory, and this is just my theory because I'll get some now, but they're not good. So, like, to me, if a green smoothie, the worse it tastes, to me, the healthier it is.
It's gotta be,
Because
right?
it doesn't have, like, all the fruits or juices.
Right, if you see a green one, you know it's going to taste like crap. It's probably better for you.
Correct, because I was drinking one last week. It was fine, but it was not, I wouldn't call it delicious.
No.
Okay.
But I knew it had good stuff in it.
Because people always say, man, you should add spinach to your smoothie. You know, it's healthy. And they always follow it with, you can barely taste it. Like, but I can taste it. I don't want to barely taste something I hate and something that I otherwise enjoy.
Well, like,
You
and
know,
I'm the opposite of
Put
your...
salt on your ice cream. You barely taste it.
Like, I'm the opposite of your daughter. I cannot I hate blueberries.
Really?
But I kind of, like, the texture of them's weird to me, but I fathom they're good for you. So, like, I try to hide them in either yogurt or smoothies all the time.
Right.
'Cause I don't mind blending it in if I can taste it, but just, I don't know what it is. And then if I do eat a handful of them, I just got to kind of, like, cut through
And
it.
the amazing thing is how good they are for you.
I know, but
So
I just think that...
you're supposed to eat them. I'm right there with you. I
Yeah.
can't stand them. But I know I'm
My
supposed
daughter
to eat them.
loves it. What is it with the antioxidants or something?
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
They're really, really
you know
good
what?
for
If you bury them in yogurt, for some reason, to me, they're tolerable.
And I'm
don't-
still going to add some honey.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think that's why they invented smoothies. Someone like me, they're like, dude, you've got to find a way to eat something. How about if we take all this fruit and just blend it? Will you do that? And then I will.
Can you sneak spinach into those smoothies that you do and you don't taste it?
He just said no.
My bad.
You can
Sorry, I
tell.
wasn't paying attention.
Sorry,
to
this
the
is
text
how
here.
it started. He was like, people told me to put spinach in there.
My bad.
You
My bad.
barely taste it.
I was
Like,
reading text.
but I don't want to taste it at all. Like, that is the problem. I don't add things I don't like to something I otherwise
don't
do
taste
like.
it at all.
The only
Really?
leafy things I want in my drink would be
Mint. Yeah.
That's it. Mojitos. I've had a couple of vanilla milkshakes where they put
y'all
mint in
put
there.
doggone
That's
mint in
great.
everything?
That's great.
Do you hate mint?
I don't mind mint. Mint has its place, and its place is not in my doggone desserts.
Oh,
Really?
See,
Your voice says you hate mint.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of aggression.
I'm the
Vanilla
guy
scoop
that's
of
got
ice cream.
Altoids in here all the doggone time. I'm fine with mint. Keep it out of my damn ice cream. Keep it out of my
Wow.
damn smoothies.
So like an actual leaf of mint on top of your ice cream, like vanilla, you're not down with that?
Hell no.
Huh.
I love it when that bartender smacks the mint and
Me
mixes
too.
it in there.
Me too.
What about it like a Vietnamese salad?
Haven't had a Vietnamese salad, Ted. I mean, like a mojito's, it's fine, I guess. It's not my first drink to grab.
Why do we all do this to everybody?
I don't know.
It's you tell us something you don't like, and this is universal. Tell us one food you don't like. We're going to ask you if you've tried it one of the 10,000 different ways. And it's like you don't like mushrooms.
Right.
You're very clear about that.
Do you like stuffed mushrooms with crab in the middle?
Right.
No.
Do you like chanterelles? No.
No.
Have you had a portobello? Yes.
Here's my thing with mint, okay? You're going to throw a day-long party, and it's going to start at noon, and it's going to go all the way until 9 o'clock at night. But you're only inviting your more, uptight people a little bit earlier on in the day, get your family out of the way and whatnot. And then you got that one drunk friend that you said, don't show up until like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have it. Mint is that drunk friend. And all of a sudden it shows up at the brunch at noon. Like, why are you here? You don't show up till later. That's for me with mint. Like, if I'll have
Why
a
are
mint
you
later on.
here? I love
Right.
that.
I brushed my teeth with you.
You
dude.
but you never put like a mint leaf in your mouth as a kid or whatever
No.
if you found it?
What? No.
Never? No? You never sucked on mint as a kid?
I never
Sucking
sucked
mint?
on mint.
Yeah, mint suckers.
I mean, I like mint, but I never just.
Oh, we had a bunch of leaves. There's
You
leaves.
just sucked on mint leaves.
We used to suck on a lot of stuff.
I mean, I guess
There's a promo.
Seriously.
I didn't realize I was so rich. We just bought mint.
Yeah.
Miles is out
Yeah.
foraging out in West Virginia.
No, there's tea
Where's all that mint?
There's
You got
tea,
to forage for fresh breath here, boy.
there's tea leaves you can suck on that give you a really good buzz, man.
Sure.
Like sassafras.
I mean, honeysuckle, we used to suck the little
Okay.
honey out of.
There you
You
go.
lived an
But
interesting
not
life.
mint.
I've had coca leaves before and chewed on those.
How does that do for you?
You get a little energy, but I mean,
But
the
not-
amount you'd have to chew.
I keep chewing.
And I think the people down there that are working the fields and stuff add something that kind of activates it.
Okay, I got
This
you.
was more of just like my buddy came back and was like, I got you some of these candies. And I was like, sweet.
Just a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah, it's like having a little caffeine.
All right. Hello, Kobe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe, welcome to the program. Random question. Let's go with this one. Since yesterday was all about Dad, Father's Day, Kobe, what dad stuff would you say your dad does well? Like if you need something,
That's my mom.
and you know that your dad he's the guy to call. So what stuff does he do well as a father?
I'd say he's good at fixing things and building things.
Okay, so any kind of project he can kind of tackle it on and figure it out.
Yeah, and that's a good person to call because my mom, she's probably listening right now, but my mom's not good at building or fixing, but my dad's great at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, look, it's a reason there's a partnership. People do stuff better.
Yes.
And that's why you want certain people cooking for you than others. Like my stepfather, an amazing cook. If I came home and my mom was cooking dinner, I was like, all right, it's going to be one of those nights. And it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It wasn't as bad as your mom, but it was still not as good as my stepfather.
My mom, the best night is when you came home to a 99-cent frozen Totino's pizza. And that was going to be dinner. I mean, my brother and I would celebrate like, hell yeah. My dad was really good at fixing stuff, man, but he was a very good woodworker. So I did not realize how much money they saved when I was growing up, but he built like all this custom crap in the house. And basically said, when I first started dating your mother, like I knew some woodworking stuff, but she definitely has the champagne taste on the Miller Lite budget, as it were.
Okay.
So she'd walk into places like Restoration Hardware. I mean, you walk into a joint like that, like a coffee table's like $2,000. And he's like, listen, man, there's zero chance that's going to happen. But what he would do, because my father did not care, he'd be down on the floor, someplace like that, on his back, under the table, like he's fixing a car. Just to see how they put it together. Mm-hmm. He would go straight to Home Depot.
And
he would make it exactly as they made it, but he would custom size it to the room or the sofa or whatever. So once my mother got wind of this, however, because he goes, look, I don't mind working with wood, man, but once you knew I could do that, we'd be in the store every weekend, and she's like, Robert, I like this, and this. Like if it's made out of wood. And his projects, I mean,
Well, that's
he would do it, man.
See, I like doing stuff like that. If I knew how to do it,
I do too, but
the complexity of it, I
but
probably couldn't get too crazy.
I think it's different when you're doing it for yourself versus your wife essentially is making this your honey-do list. Not like, hey, grab peanut butter. It's like, grab peanut butter and make me a dining room table.
The difference is he also had the tools to do that.
He kept buying the toys.
My dad has been my dad has been fishing his entire life. That's his big thing, right? So
right.
the biggest pain in the ass, as far as fishing goes, even if you don't catch fish, anyone can tell you this, is getting snagged up and losing your tackle.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
My dad, you can give him that fishing pole, and he will retie the leader on, depending on what you want to do. If he thinks that the fish are swimming 2 feet from the bottom, he can drop a weight in where there's a bobber on the bait, and it will lift it off of the bottom of the lake, the river,
to get
the
those
ocean,
fish.
to get those. He knows how to do all of the top lures, and he'll do it within. He knows every knot.
Right.
You look at it; it's absolutely perfect. The way that you don't even want to lose the line. You don't want to give it up and pull it out. But he does it like within 2 minutes. Hands you the pole back, like, here you go, kid.
Well, cool.
Save me the time.
Can you do it?
No.
Yeah.
No. God, no. Oh, the reason we asked.
You could tie like the little clasp and your hook on. And
I could, but not like he does.
Not
Like
at the
where you look
speed,
at
yeah.
it and it looks like a hangman's knot.
Yeah.
It's perfectly, wrapped around. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, man. It's perfectly tied off. It's like, it's tight. It's crazy.
He can drink pretty well, too, I understand.
Yes, he can. He can do that very well. Raise ask what dad stuff does your dad do well? They say we all know someone who's not great at emotional stuff. It's probably your dad. In a new poll, more than 1 in 3 people said a simple thumbs up on their phone from their dad was a sign of both love and support. He doesn't need to say much.
Thumbs
just
up.
Give me the thumbs up. 49% said their dad would describe himself as not real good at emotional stuff. Maybe you should lean on mom for that. But dads do love you. It's just how they show their love. But they say many dads have their own subtle, heartfelt ways to express their feelings. And it's being called dad speak.
Dad speak. Okay.
Dad speak.
All right.
So basically, if you need an emotional support, they will be there, even if they don't say too much.
Well, we listen.
Or give you too much advice.
We like to listen and fix.
Yeah.
Listen, fix, move on.
Things that our dads are good at. My daughters can attest to this. Paying for a meal.
Yes, we're very good at that.
Man, that's one you always show up
I didn't
on.
know how good I was at that until I had kids. Like, man, I'm
Good at
crushing
paying for a
this.
meal?
Paying for your meal stuff, yeah.
Right?
I'll say my dad always made a point to show up to a lot of sporting events, too.
Okay, yeah.
And that's important. Fixing things around the house, like Kobe said. Dads are always good, they say, much better than mom at driving you places. For some reason, dads get there faster, they know the better route, and they are better at navigating the roadways.
I will say, the old man almost makes it a point to find the quickest route, and even if he has to stretch the rules a little bit. We'll go to breakfast every Tuesday morning, and before we go to the auction, and we basically race each other, and he gives no Fs. He will cut people off. He will find the easiest way around.
Dads are good at lending you tools or equipment that you need that you don't have. And showing you how to use them properly. Dads are also very good with grandchildren, kids, and pets.
Oh, yeah.
As far as the dog running up to somebody, typically going to be your dad.
That's the first time I found out the father was a nice guy is when I had kids. I mean, I talked to her, like, did he have a stroke or something? She's like, no, he's always been like that, but he had to raise you. He didn't have to raise the grandkids.
Yep. Back to my dad. Being a good mixologist in the home bar.
Yeah, we do pretty well on that.
Yeah. And also, here's a good one. Forwarding stories and news and links that they know that you'll enjoy reading.
Yeah.
That was an eye roll.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who's dad. My dad used to send me some stuff that was like, like, your son, you don't know your son that that as well as you think you do.
More of the random question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
You know how we all have that one friend we go to with all our financial questions? I'm talking the one who gives you advice like no one else can. Well, meet Experian, your BFF. And by that, I mean big financial friend. I'm telling you, Experian is going to be your go-to app when it comes to taking control of your finances. And this big financial friend is always there for you, just hanging out on your phone, where we all kind of are anyway. Experian has a bunch of legit ways to help you save. And get this, the Experian app lets you check your FICO score, matches you with credit cards, and a bunch more totally BFF kind of things to help you manage your finances. Bet your other BFFs can't do all that, huh? Anyway, it's easy to have this big financial friend by your side. Just download the Experian app and get started for free. Trust me, you'll be up to speed with this BFF in no time. Results will vary. Credit offers, approvals, and reward programs based on FICO Score 8 model and subject to lender terms. Offers not available in all states. See Experian.com for details.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, it's easy to connect to vibrant destinations across Europe. Whether you're sipping espresso in stylish Milan or raising a stein at Oktoberfest in Munich, Condor makes your journey just as enjoyable as your destination. With spacious cabins and relaxing service, your vacation starts the moment you board. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Hey, Daily Mix Show is going to go down to T-Mobile Park on Wednesday. It's a day gamer, 1:10 against the Boston Red Sox. Join those guys. By the way, $2 from every ticket sold benefiting the National Multiple Sclerosis Society.
Excellent.
Which is a foundation that's very close to those guys. So tickets are on sale, KISW.com. I think they have a couple of different sections to choose from.
All right.
But either way, spend the afternoon down there with the Daily Mix Morning Show. And check out some Mariners baseball, as they got a little sweep over the weekend there against the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
Why is that the one I always had the hardest time?
I do too, man. I really do. You say the Guardians.
I got the Commanders
I know it's
nailed.
baseball. I just can't remember.
You know, but for some reason with the Guardians, it takes me about 5 seconds to figure it out.
Right.
Either way, I feel like you just say Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah. Much easier.
I don't know why.
Right. So, game time 1:10 Wednesday, T-Mobile Park. Join the Daily Mix show down there. All the details and how you can get tickets at KISW.com. All right, it's a random question 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. Matthew, welcome to the program and the random question. All right, let's see what we got for you. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Do you have or have you ever owned what I would consider to be a funny T-shirt? Something that says something whimsical on it.
Well, I have a collection of Ray Troll T-shirts, if they're familiar with those.
I don't know if I am.
No.
He's an artist out of Alaska, but he mixes comedy with biological stuff. So he has T-shirts like, what was the last one I get? What was that? Empire Without a Cod. So it had like Darth Vader fishing for cod. I remember he had Pulp Fishing, and it had Samuel Jackson and John Travolta in a canoe.
Yeah, all right, I dig that.
All right, how many of these do you have?
Oh, I probably got at least a dozen of them.
And what's your favorite?
Spawn Before You Die.
Spawn Before You Die.
What is it? Ray Tool?
Troll, Troll. You can look him up online. He's pretty famous.
But it's not pronounced troll.
Yeah, it's pronounced Troll, Troll.
Okay, troll. Gotcha. Okay.
All right. I think my favorite shirt growing up, it was my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, whatever. They used to like to ski. I did not ski, but they had gone skiing. They visited me in Baltimore, and they're like, hey, we got you a shirt. And I think I'm 12 or 13 years old. My father chuckled. My mother did not. I had to take it off in school. Anyway, so there's two companies. One, I believe Rosignol makes skis or something like that, but Head, who makes tennis rackets, skis, and all this. So the shirt just said, give me Rosignol or give me Head. And I thought it was hilarious. And they explained, hey, it's actually a company. I'm like, okay, cool. But Dad's like, whatever, man. My mom's still a little on the fence. I'm like, but Mom, it's a company. She's like, fine. So I wear it to school, and that morning she's like, I really don't think this is going to fly. I'm like, I'll just explain that it's a company, and that's the ha-ha. And I explained to my homeroom teacher that it is, in fact, a ha-ha, and I still had to take it off and put on one of these school T-shirts. She's like, I get it. I'm not saying it's not funny, but you're not wearing that around school.
Well, look, they would send kids home in high school. I had a buddy, he had an Iron City shirt on, which is a beer in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All right? But it was a Steelers shirt.
Okay.
So it had like Terry Bradshaw on the front, or whoever the hell it was at the time. It was, like the monument of Steelers at that time, like Joe Green,
Franco Harris, right?
All those guys were on the back, but Terry Bradshaw was on the front. It was a badass shirt, but he had to go home because of the logo.
Because it was
a beer sponsor.
Yeah, because it was Iron City. You were not allowed to wear an alcohol-related shirt in high school.
Oh, okay. Actually, I want to say my kid. I think my son has worn one of our beer shirts to school. And they didn't seem to care.
Well, but he got in trouble for a shirt.
Oh, yeah, he had the NWA shirt.
No, it doesn't say the words on it.
It says NWA.
NWA. You either know it or you do not know.
Yeah, so the principal reached out to my wife like, hey, look, man.
But he was going as Easy E.
Well, that's the whole thing. It was a dress-up
Halloween
day.
or whatever it was.
Because he looks like Easy frickin' E. So we're like... And so the principal never called me. Me and the principal are now friends. But I told my wife, I'm like, you missed the opportunity to say, stands for Northwest Attitude. What's the problem? Because now the principal's in that weird position of going, is that what you really believe? In which case you dig your feet in and go, yeah, what did you think it meant? Because I said then,
naysayers.
This whole thing, it would have been a wash. It would have been a wash if you just said, Northwest Attitude, because now the principal's in that weird position of, what you got to say to it?
Yes. Also, when I was a kid, the beach was the place to find these T-shirts.
Oh,
and
always.
That was your goal.
Big Johnsons.
Big Johnsons.
Big Peckers.
Big Peckers was a bar in Ocean City. Brass Ball Saloon. Dr. Zog's Sex Wax.
Right.
We thought that
was great.
It's a surfboard wax.
Yeah, it is.
But we thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
What was the clam one? It was
the bearded clam.
The bearded clam.
The bearded clam down on 2nd Street.
But these were actual places.
Yeah.
But as kid, and here's the thing: as a kid, you could not go in there. It's a bar.
Sure.
But you wanted their shirt.
I was just talking this weekend to somebody, and it's a couple that I know, like through some other friends, but they're from New York and New Jersey. When I was talking about going to Ocean City, and they were like, I kind of miss going there. And I was like, it is so trashy. So, like, he was just talking about these T-shirts. You're right. Like, I remember...
Co-ed naked lacrosse. Just things you never even heard of before.
Always.
I mean,
but it was like a big deal. I told you, my cousin Tom had the FBI one, Federal Booty Inspector.
Female body inspector.
Yeah, and there was like all these different ones, but like it was an arms race in the summer to come back with the most ridiculous shirt.
Yes, that's what you did.
Got a couple of texts that says, I have a novelty shirt. I have one that has a grumpy cat, and it says, quote, like a good neighbor, stay over there.
Yeah.
And then someone else, I got in trouble at school for a shirt that showed 3 pigs mounting each other. The caption was, guess who's making the bacon?
So I have a shirt that looks like the old logo of Washington Commanders.
Okay.
But instead of the Native American dude, it's a white dude. And it just says Caucasians. So I think it's a very funny shirt.
Right.
And like I used to wear it, then what's his name that used to be on ESPN? He wore it, and they suspended him.
Who's Scott Van Pelt?
No, it was a black dude. Jones, Bahami.
They suspended him.
They
for wearing that
suspended
shirt.
him for
or he wasn't on the air the next day, and I'm like, Jesus, I have that shirt.
Right.
So I loved it. I used to wear it around, and then I wore it one day thinking people would find it funny when I basically lived in the shop. I went to the corner store, and that lady was like Asian. She was like, I don't think you should be wearing that. And I was like, no, I'm white. I'm making fun of the team
Yes.
being racist. She was like, I don't know. It's a little crazy out there. And I'm like, of course. Only in Seattle would I like.
Yes.
I'm a white guy trying to make fun of white guys. That's the joke.
The fun.
You should have Miles say the joke about Caucasians. We just can't do it on the air.
Last Father's Day, my daughter got me a T-shirt.
Damn it.
And the T-shirt says, F you effing Fs.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
We've seen it on the video from time to time.
Yeah.
So I'm very selective, obviously, when I wear this shirt. Okay, so for an example, typically at this building, the way the tech world works is they're coming in Tuesday through Thursday.
Yeah.
All right, so they are in the office, other offices in this building during those days. I typically will not wear that shirt Tuesday through Thursday.
Really?
Because
Those would be the days to wear it.
No, Monday and Friday are when I wear the shirt because there's no one in the building.
Right.
So I'm trying to not, and plus our staff comes in sometimes on Wednesdays. So just to walk around with
Do
that
you
on.
think our staff would have a bad time if you were wearing that shirt?
No, but it's still like
that's something.
Okay.
Castle has a T-shirt. This is no lie, right? And it's too small for him. It doesn't matter. It's a Tool T-shirt. But the guy's self-filleting himself. He's hunched over. Okay, so he hates grocery shopping, and his wife, she'd be like, "Come on, Ryan, you're going with me to the store." It's like, I really don't want to go. You're going with me to the store, and he goes, "Hang on." I'm going to change, and she knows what it is. He puts that shirt on.
Dude.
And it makes her angry, but he says, look, if you're going to make me go to the grocery store, I'll go.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'm wearing
So,
this shirt.
probably about a month or two ago.
I will say, I bring up when you wear that shirt with the F-bombs of it, just because I'm like, I wouldn't wear that unless it's a concert.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, it's right there.
I can't remember what the hell it was. It was like the Masters or something that was on. And I went down to Mike's Chili Parlor, which is about a mile walk. So it's a good walk. There's a trail that goes all the way down there. So I get down there, watch some of the tournament. And then I'm walking back, and I'm passing the Fred Meyer. Now, I'm wearing this shirt, F-U, you effing Fs, okay? I don't think this through. I've had a few beers, had a few shots, watched golf, walking back. Oh, man, you know what? I need to pick a couple things up at Fred Meyer. not thinking, right? So I walk into Fred Meyer with a shirt on, and obviously there are a lot of families that shop at the Fred Meyer.
Fred Meyer, you don't say.
On Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and there's this kid. He's probably like 8 or 9, right? And he's just staring at me, and he's smiling, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, do I know that kid? Like, how would I know a kid? You know, like, I don't know that kid.
Right.
And his mom looked at me and went, and she kind of just grabbed him and turned him around and started walking. I'm like, oh God, I'm wearing that shirt.
Right.
I almost wanted to turn it inside out in the middle of an aisle and just take my shirt off, you know. And go,
Just be shirtless.
Shirtless for a
It's
second.
better, man. It's better this
so I
way.
was like, oh man. Okay.
The reason I have an issue with it is just there was a lot of T-shirts, right? So years ago, in like the mid '90s, right, there was an All-Star game in Baltimore. Cito Gaston was the Atlantic or American League coach, and he famously didn't put in a bunch of these Orioles players.
Yeah.
So there was all these shirts about beat the Blue Jays. They didn't call them the Blue Jays, something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maryland, for a lot of years, had crazy novelty shirts, right? Like I have a shirt, you know, somebody, nice girls, bad girl, you know, like there's pictures with the turtle, like getting a mouth hug from another mascot. But I remember
It's not offensive. A turtle getting a mouth hug.
We had those shirts, but I remember they just finally started wearing shirts that just said F Duke.
we have F Pitt.
Right, but my brother and I were sitting there. We're both drinking, and he went, they got to star out at least a letter. We were like, we just thought they had given up at that point. Once you just have the full
It
F
just straight up said it. Right.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like your shirt. If there's 3 stars in that shirt, nobody cares.
No.
But once it just says F, you F it.
Right, yeah, exactly. And that's what it says. Yeah. The reason we asked, do you have or ever owned a funny T-shirt? A 27-year-old man in Alabama named Ryan Hernandez. He was pulled over last Wednesday because he was swerving all over the road. Cops conduct the field sobriety test. He fails. So then the cops noticed an infant strapped in a car seat in the rear of the vehicle. So this guy just wasn't putting his own life on the line. He was putting the lives of others on the road, also endangering the 2-month-old baby in the backseat. Now, he was arrested on a slew of charges: DUI, reckless endangerment, open container, improper lane usage, driving without insurance, operating a vehicle with an expired tag. This guy checks all the boxes, right? So he posed for the mugshot at the station. At the time, he was wearing a shirt saying, "You nailed it." It's for a company that he works for called Evermore Homes, and they believe that he is a builder who works there.
Okay.
But it says, "You nailed it."
It has some good shirts, man. Like little kids. They have a lot of really good shirts for like small baby. The one that my wife and I bought, I believe for my daughter, did not go over well with other parents. I just thought it was funny, but it's a shirt, and the letters look like they're vibrating, and it just says, "They shake me." And I'm like, obviously we don't. Okay. Because we would not buy, but, and then another one, we did not get this one, but it says, "Now that I'm alive, I'm pro-choice."
Okay.
But again, this is for infants in onesies. People still got upset.
I got one worse than that. All right. So, God, this is awful, but I'll tell you anyway. All right. So, okay, I have a friend, and she just went through the process of adoption.
Okay.
It was a family friend that they know.
This
all right?
is awesome.
This is awful.
No, this is great.
It's a family friend that they know. Okay. She knows them, and I'm not going to get into the details of that. All right. But these two were struggling with some addiction issues. So when the baby was born, the baby was, not in great shape based on the fact that the mom was a user during the pregnancy. All right. They also determined that they did not want to parent this child, but they were going to take it to full term, which they do. Okay. So I guess part of the stipulation on this was because they were somewhat related. All right. And they were. She was able to be the first in line for adoption.
Nice.
So they asked her first, and she said, "Sure, I'm going to take. I'll take." I'll take the baby. Okay,
I think this is good.
I'm worried.
All right, yeah, this
too. Why are we already laughing?
This is horrible. All right,
it's really bad.
Yes, it is. So, okay, so she knows she's going to get the baby and starts that process about a month out as far as getting all the things that she needs, a crib, all the crap, right? But the baby has to go through detox, essentially.
Right. Sure.
So the baby has to stay in the hospital, be monitored in the NICU, all that stuff, until the baby is actually clean and ready to be released. So I got the kid a onesie. Now, keep in mind, my friend is black, all right? And the baby is white.
Okay.
So I got a onesie that says, "I stole this white baby." And it's really, it's like written in cursive. It's like this baby script.
But the best part of the story is he told me is like, "Dude, I forgot that I ordered it for her."
Right. Yeah.
So he gets the package in the mail at home.
And I'm like, oh no.
It's not as funny now.
Because you can get the onesie, custom made with anything you wanted to, in any different font you wanted to, right? So I picked like this really lovely, beautiful person.
I like the place that does it. No questions asked.
No.
I stole this white baby.
They just don't care. Have you given it to your friend yet?
Yes, he loves it.
All right.
I told you she'd like it because I was like, man, I don't know if I should give it because what did you say? I was like, I was kind of drunk when I did it.
Second thought, I was like, man, is this okay? I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
You got to do it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Stole this white baby.
It was a big hit. So this weekend, I finally got to see a picture of the baby.
Oh, did you in the onesie?
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
Well, I have a picture of it. I'll bring you guys my phone. I'll show you a picture of what the onesie looks like.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
But I need to get one with the baby. The baby is cute as hell.
I believe it.
Really.
That's why she stole.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh no!
That kind of T-shirt.
Is the baby okay?
The baby looks great.
Okay.
Yeah, the baby's healthy. All right. It's a white baby though. You know. I mean, white. Like white.
No, just put a little space in between. Like, oh no, it looks great. It's good to go. It's a white baby.
It's a white baby. All white babies are beautiful.
Or normal.
Yeah. That's not true. I don't know if my daughter's listening or not, but no, I look at that picture I sent out. I'm like, oh my God, because she was born with some problems, right?
Right.
So I sent that picture out to, she was medical issues. So I sent that picture out. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my! Because to me, she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. You
don't realize how ugly your children are when they're born.
You don't.
You are just like, this is the most beautiful.
And it wasn't that she was ugly. She just looked like
ugly.
She looked like she was going through stuff, right? Because she was.
Sure.
But to me,
no, babies are beautiful. Infants are not, right? So when your kid is first born, like Miles said, man, you are so overwhelmed. You've never felt love like this in your life. Therefore, this thing you're looking at is beautiful. And then about 10 minutes after it kind of wears off, just the initial shock that we have brought life into the world and the doctors are doing some things, then you start looking at it like, you look like my hand that's been submerged in water.
But your parents,
for 9 months, your eyes are all messed up. There's sticky stuff on you, man. You're still in love with this kid, but the moment you're born, you were not cute.
No,
right.
In fact, when I was born,
you look like a Bigfoot.
Well, yeah. So the husband could not be in the delivery room with the wife, right? So no matter what, the guy had to wait outside. After the baby's born, you walk in. I'm the second one, all right? But my mother says, they finally let your father in. He walks in. He looks at me and just goes, oh. That was his first response.
Now, my second kid came out looking like a cone head. And when I mean a cone head, I mean like the movie.
Yeah.
Like the movie. Like I just gave birth to like Dan Aykroyd's, like he's my dad or something, like one of his grandchildren. I mean, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, and it's very difficult because the mom's there, she's still kind of out of it because of the epidural and all the things. So she's kind of just, she went through a lot there. So you don't want to go, God damn, man, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to freak her out.
What'd you do to that thing?
You don't want to freak her out.
Is it going to go away?
Yes.
That's just like,
Yes.
Did they use the suction cup on her? Because they tried to suction cup. Seriously, man.
And that's what happened.
With all of this medical
like a plunger,
technology, when the kid's kind of jammed but not quite stuck. All right, keep in mind, there are computers beeping. They're using high-tech stuff. And then literally, it's a freaking suction cup. And you stick it on top of their head, and you pull their ass out. So they did that with my daughter. When you do, there's a chance you're going to get a cone head anyway, just based on how birth is.
Yeah, the top of their head is not developed yet.
Yeah, it's super soft.
So it's
So when they pull them out with the suction cup,
It
like
just
when
lifts
you
the whole
pull
thing
the
out.
cup off,
It's like pulling a dent out of a car.
Yeah, but
so you're holding your daughter, and it's like she looks like a pencil, And it's like you don't want to be mean, but you're like, "Hey, doc," and they're like, "Yeah, relax."
Did she need a helmet or anything like that?
Well,
No,
also
it reforms. It's just that initial pull, and he's not kidding, man. It's like a reverse teardrop.
Right.
You're like, oh my god.
Also, kids are kind of translucent, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, they're weird
Their
looking.
pigmentation is not really there yet.
They're like a chameleon.
So when you put the kid under the French fry light, it's almost like you can look right through them.
Yeah.
You see every organ in their body.
French fry light.
It's kind of like
just a
putting a
heat lamp,
flashlight
man.
in your mouth in a tent. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you see all the veins in your face.
Just like that, man.
Yeah, but it's like a bit of baby.
We've done that.
It's a red light to keep them warm.
Yeah.
But it's the thing
you would put your
Is it the French fry light?
It's a French fry light. Yeah.
That's what all the tech that they have. They give everything a different name, and then when you look at it, you're like, that's a hammer, that's a screwdriver, that's a chisel, that's the French fry light, and that's a plunger.
It's the same bulb that they use like in old school bathrooms where if you wanted a heater, it would be for the light.
Yeah,
Like that red light?
Hey, if it's good enough for brisket, it's good enough for a newborn.
More of the random question coming up 206-803 Rock.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, it's easy to connect to vibrant destinations across Europe. Whether you're sipping espresso in stylish Milan or raising a stein at Oktoberfest in Munich, Condor makes your journey just as enjoyable as your destination. With spacious cabins and relaxing service, your vacation starts the moment you board. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Your guess is as good as mine. Cut at 4:30. Our categories: we have the most happy and unhappy states in the United States of America, and on the other one, all kinds of delicious American beer. We'll play a little Your Guess is as good as mine right after emails on a random question. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jess. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Jess, let's see what I got here for you.
Real quick, could I maybe just say thank you to you guys, all you, for you guys gave me a birthday shout out, and the next day after I had surgery, and the whole time I was in the hospital, I listened to you guys, and you kept my spirits up. So
How did everything go?
It went really well. I took out staples, 34 of them, and get them out on Friday. So, yeah, as good as it could.
Are they inside or outside
of
of
you?
you?
So much. Both.
Okay, so you're all sewn up. Jeez, whiz.
It's weird when they remove staples. You think it's going to be this big medical thing. It is a staple remover.
Yeah, really is. Okay, let's see here. Why don't we go with this one? What did you accidentally swallow? What did you accidentally swallow?
Oh, so when I think I was like probably 4 years old or something, maybe 3 or 4. I just barely remember this, but we lived in Grand Junction, Colorado before we moved to Washington, and I had this habit of like sucking on ice cubes, and I put a big ice cube in my mouth, and it got lodged in my throat. My mom started freaking out, and she was like doing like the Heimlich and doing all this stuff. She got the ice cube out, but that was the closest I ever came to swallowing anything.
I've had that terrifying. I've had that happen to me one time.
Yeah.
And it was an ice cube tray cube, so it was a pretty sizable cube. You have to just kind of wait for it to melt.
Did it pop out of your drink, or did you pop the ice into your mouth?
It was one of those things where
I put the cube in my mouth like a dumbass, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I could say that, but I did this on my own accord.
I was shaking the glass to get the ice off the start of the
flying
bottom.
down,
just shot right down in my throat. I was like, oh no!
Did it get stuck?
Yes. Oh, it was terrifying. And I'm just like.
Right, can't make any sound.
It was solid the whole way through. It was completely plugging the hole. A week ago, so I've been doing these zone things, which are like Zins, right? So the little packet, and they got nicotine in them, and you kind of rip one like you would a Skull Bandit, but they don't have tobacco.
Correct. There's no tobacco. It's just the nicotine. You don't have to spit.
So, like with my doctor trying to quit smoking or whatever, he would give me lozenges or gum or anything. This is basically the same thing, just a different way to get your nicotine.
Yeah, but you said these seem more effective.
The ones that I get, because they're 9s, they pack a little bit more of a punch.
I can't believe you jumped all the way up to 9.
Well, man, I smoked for 35 years.
What increments do they come in?
3, 6, 9. There might be more.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're surprised that he went with the high. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, if I want to get that zap, man, I mean,
I don't get zap.
Look out. I took a big swig of beer and.
You swallowed one of your packs?
Oh yeah. I mean, and I just had put it in.
That doesn't seem good.
You know what? Actually, I was worried about the same thing.
Passed really good?
But I got the same rush.
Really?
Yes.
So you can do it rectally?
Yes. No, I'm dead serious.
I don't think it's good to have that in your body.
I know that. But the question was,
that's why it's an accident.
Accidentally swallow.
Did it find its way back out?
I have not seen it.
When did this happen? Yesterday or
This
Saturday?
happened like a week ago.
Oh, hopefully you passed it. I saw a guy swallow a quarter playing chandeliers.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times.
Like we were at basketball camp, so they're like, everybody just kept asking him, and he's like, no, like he just like, don't ask, I haven't passed it yet. Right. And then finally, like the last day we were there, he was like, good news, I passed it.
Have you ever swallowed a cigarette butt by accident?
Oh yeah, I've had it in my mouth.
Right, I'll spit it out.
Just
at like
the
a party.
Can at the right, and I mean, by the time I realized what it was, it ricocheted off my tongue, and it just gone down my throat. I'm like, you've got to. I didn't even swallow it. It just followed the beer down. I'm like, really? Okay. It's not awesome.
Reese, we asked, what did you accidentally swallow? For some people, there's nothing they say more thrilling than riding a roller coaster. But now you can experience that while also enjoying the excitement of eating cicadas. There is a amusement park called Kings Island in northwestern Ohio.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. Are they still in the Kings Dominion family? I think they are.
Are they?
I believe so. They've been dealing with a massive infestation of cicadas.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know about this until our boss Dave walked in the office today, and he is from that area, and he showed us a video of just
He just played the recording
of how loud that area is with cicadas in that Ohio area.
That's it. That's the only sound they make, and it is
I swear to God,
24 hours a day.
I don't know that they're anywhere else right now.
I don't think so.
I just think they're in that one pocket of Ohio.
Yes, I think last summer, right, they were back in that Maryland area.
Wasn't the 13-year and the 17-year brood popped out at the same time last year? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but they are out.
Well, they're everywhere, outside. And the swarms are so dense that people are being warned to keep their mouths sealed shut when riding on the coasters at Kings Island. Or there's a good chance you'll get a mouthful, because several people already have. People are posting videos of the cicadas at the park on TikTok, and others are proudly sharing ride photos of people in their group with their mouths firmly closed, as instructed. This is a much worse story. I don't know if you guys heard about this last week, but a billionaire from India, he was playing polo in England, and he's one of those dudes. Obviously, he's a billionaire, so he knows what the hell's the kid's name? Prince William.
All right.
Okay.
All right. He plays polo with this guy on a regular basis.
Of course.
So this guy's playing polo, and a bee goes into his mouth and stings him somewhere in the throat, tongue, wherever the hell it had. He died.
Oh, my God. He didn't know he was allergic to bees?
He died. He was...
But like instantly. Like, dude fell off of the horse bed.
Swallowed it trying to get rid of the sting and the pain.
Yeah.
Then apparently he just fell off the damn horse and dropped dead.
Like, that's how quick this bee took him out.
Damn. Yes. That is, I mean, you're a billionaire. You know how to play polo. This is not how you go, you know? Because you have enough money to take care of just about anything.
Now,
right?
do you say he died doing what he loves? That's what people always say. I'm like, what, in pain, falling off of a horse?
Right.
No.
But he was doing what he loved. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fun pastime.
But they would say he died doing what he loved. Like, some guys mountain climb, he slips, falls off the cliff. I'm like, but the last thing he did was slip and fall off of a cliff. He did not love it.
Okay.
If you have a heart attack while you're mountain climbing, I go, you died doing what you love. You slip off of the mountain, you take a tumble. I'm like, he did not love this.
So
that is not how he died.
To me, so last Monday, you guys saw that guy hit a hole-in-one while standing on top of a toilet.
Correct.
We did. I should tell that guy. I've showed that video 10 times this weekend.
He just took a standard swing. The toilet was not moving. To me, polo seems like one of the hardest sports that I can imagine, because I have a difficult enough time riding a horse and just staying on that thing steady.
Yeah.
But to wind up, swing a big-ass stick, and hit that small ball off the ground, to me, that sounds almost impossible to do. I can't even imagine.
How many polo players are on the quote-unquote field or pitch at the same time?
4, maybe? I don't know.
I'll be honest. Polo's one sport I do not know a lot about.
It just seems to me like that would be the
I
hardest
think Miles
sport
is right,
to learn.
4 or 5 of them, maybe?
I guess.
But horses are so big.
They're huge.
Each team has 4 players.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, I can't play croquet that well, and I can't horse ride, so I'm screwed in this sport.
Yeah, it just seems like there's that.
I saw that boy playing croquet, and I said, I'll tell you what, I'll buy you a horse, you're going to be a future polo
what is
player.
the thing called you whack the ball with?
Mallet?
Is it a mallet?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm
That
guessing.
mallet is like 6 feet long.
Yeah. You're on
8 feet
top of a
long.
horse.
And the head on it is about the size of a pool cue. Or, a cue ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not that much bigger than that.
They call it a polo stick.
Oh,
Oh, polo stick.
okay.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, what should we call it?
Polo stick. I'm out of ideas, dude. It's a polo
I mean, I guess
stick.
it's not that much different than a baseball bat.
Yeah.
You wonder if there's ever any debate
Or a tennis
going on.
racket.
Right. What kind of racket is it? It's a tennis racket, goddammit. We're playing tennis. I go, okay. Sorry. So not be clever.
And it's a pickleball racket.
Right.
That's how tennis players are. That aggressive and angry.
It's a tennis racket.
What are you doing in the club?
A tennis racket. Hello, Camille. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello. Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
Beautiful wife, Camille. All right, let's see here. Loving wife. Camille, when should you have just kept your big fat mouth shut? That is the way it's phrased here from our own Steve the Thrill Hill, by the way.
Yeah, no matter who you
When
are.
should you have just kept your big fat mouth shut, he says.
Yeah, but Miles made the determination, Camille, that you obviously have a big fat mouth. So he decided to target that question to you.
You're not wrong.
Oh, okay.
Man, I would have to say probably high school. I was talking smack about the wrong person, and I got a black eye for it.
Now, did someone tell them that you were talking about them, or did they overhear you?
Yeah, somebody, the high school stuff. She said.
And did they just roll up to you and punch you, or what?
Oh, yeah, she clocked me out of nowhere. I was not expecting it. I didn't even get a chance to swing back.
Did she knock you out?
Close to it, yeah.
And what do you remember the subject matter of why this all went down and what you said?
It was mean girl stuff back in the day. She was very popular around high school.
Okay.
With the boys.
I know what that means.
She got a big fat mouth, too.
Yes, she does, and she used it well.
Well, so what did you say? You just let everybody know that what she was up to, I guess?
Yeah, she took a dial,
Okay.
All right, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Well, why did she care if you knew if all the boys knew?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just seems to me like half the population is already aware of this and is actively pursuing you once word gets out, right?
Right. So that's why I was really caught off guard. I mean, everybody kind of knew her number was on the bathroom stall. It was one of those.
For real, it was?
For real. Marshall High School in Green Lake.
Oh, my God.
So, look, some of the best advice I ever got when I started dating in high school.
Don't call this number.
Was from my stepfather.
All right.
And he said, I don't know what you're doing, but I have a pretty good idea what you're doing.
Mm.
And the only thing that I would ever suggest to you based on personal experience is that you tell none of your friends what you are doing.
Why was that his theory?
Because as soon as if I were to tell one of my friends what I was doing,
he's going to tell everyone.
And then I'm going to lose the one thing that I enjoyed doing at the time.
Right. Once the word I see his theory.
If you start that rumor mill,
yeah,
and that goes around, then there's a good chance that your free hamburgers are cut off.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a hamburger again. At least you're going to have to pay for it.
I like that that's his angle. Like, hey, I don't know what you're up to, but if you want to continue doing it,
don't tell
no
anyone.
one.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
That's kind of the Italian way, actually. It's just
it makes sense.
Keep your mouth shut, right?
Well, the other issue too is that people might know everything. That girl might have been that girl in that school, but her talking about it is still that's what that results in.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean, there's reason it's gossip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought you just liked Fritos.
Now, have any of you guys almost gotten in trouble with your mouth
yes.
on an airplane or in the airport experience, we'll say?
Yeah, once in customs. And one on a flight that I was on the flight with you. I don't know if the flight attendant liked us or not, but I remember it ended with us each assaulting each other with a magazine.
Because you hit her with the magazine, then she hit you back.
No, she hit me, and then I hit her ass
that's
back.
Right, that's right. Because she smacked you.
Yeah, she smacked me, so I grabbed my magazine and hit her back.
I'm like, this game is on. We're going to get kicked off this flight, mid-flight. He's going to go, land that bastard.
Yeah, she looked shocked.
I mean, I still got on the plane, but they definitely stopped me at the gate after a couple layovers, and they said, "We think you're drunk." And I said, okay, I won't drink on the plane. They said, "We think you might be too drunk to board." And I said, "Why do you think that?" And he said, "Do you know the guy you just high-fived?" And I went, "No."
That was the tell.
Random high-five guy? That's enough to get you kicked off a plane?
I guess.
Why? To me, it'd be like, at least this guy's decent.
Hey, look, it was fine. The woman behind the counter, I always say, she just got to put her finger up. Was like, just sit down and be quiet. That was the thing. I said,
shut up.
Well, after he said, I think you don't know that guy. I said, no. And then I said, you can't leave me here in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. He's from St. Louis. He did not take that well. Yeah. But then I got on the plane and they were like, I was like, look, I promise I won't even order anything. Just let me get on the plane. I was coming back from Miami. This was stop 3 or whatever. It had been a lot of layovers. So I got on the plane. It was fine. But he goes, "Do you know the man you just high-fived?" No. That's why we think you're drunk. All right.
The hardest.
Sorry, I high-fived a random guy.
If you know this guy, he could very well be sober and do the same thing. Of all the people I know, Ted might just high-five him.
The hardest thing for me is just to keep my mouth shut, which is always the challenge. Because I know if I've done it, I'm mad and I'm fuming on the inside.
Right.
But I did it.
Sure.
I just kept my mouth shut. Could I have a Jack and Coke, please? Or Jack and Diet? No. Well, why not? I'm not serving you. Why not? Because I'm not serving you. I haven't said a word. I mean, I don't know the person I'm sitting beside. I am not.
Is this the woman in Anchorage?
No, that was at the That was at the Chili's to go.
So this is a different one.
This was on the actual aircraft.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's the same thing in the airport.
No.
He hadn't said
And
a word.
you hit the button.
No. I have before. But then I learned to just walk back and be nice and ask for it in the bag.
We were on a flight, and they
I
cut Miles' ass off, all right? I could still get drinks, and then he's sitting in the row behind me. I see his hand over my head, and I'm like, man, don't.
I dinged his button.
So sure enough, flight attendant walks up. Now, keep in mind, I've been drinking Jack and Coke. Is it vodka and something? We were drinking different
Depends
things.
on whatever I was drinking at the time.
But the lady walks back, and I'm like, yeah, could I get a double vodka soda? And so she looks at me, and she goes, is this for the man sitting behind you? I'm like, no, man, it's for me. Well, he's been drinking double vodkas and soda. I'm like, oh, no, I heard him. It sounds good, man. She's like, you've been drinking Jack and Coke. I said, I know that, but I heard him order a double vodka soda. It sounded really good, so can I get one? And she stands there like she has 3 Mississippi, doesn't say anything. She comes back. She hands it to me.
She knows you're lying through your teeth.
She does. But if you're not going to call me out on it, right? So even when she brought the drinks back, because, again, when you buzz them for something like that, they're already pissed. They're already mad at Miles, and they know goddamn well I'm getting this from Miles, but I refuse to admit this. So she hands me the drinks and still just stands there looking at me. So I'm like cracking it open kind of slow, like how to mix it together. And as soon as she sauntered off, I'm like, here, man.
Yeah,
they knew. That's the first thing she said. Is this for the man behind you?
I went out on a few dates with a girl who listened to the show, but she was a flight attendant.
Okay.
So, we've been out like 2 or 3 times, and one time we're just kind of sitting there, and she goes, I don't want to bring up your work. I go, what's up? She goes, you've got to tell Miles, stop pushing the button. Because you would always go, it's fine. And
Ding,
I was
ding,
like,
ding, ding.
it is not fine. And she was like, look, I like all you guys, but if you press the button, A, they're annoyed. It's for emergency. And she's like, B, I pretty much know you're already drunk.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, no
drink.
kidding. She was like, yeah. She was
Well,
dead
change
ass.
the light. The
Right.
button has the attendant there with a drink in hand.
Well, there's also...
Does it? I've never noticed that.
I know, but they make that announcement. It's not like the old days. Just trust me. I'm telling people, shut your mouth and wait for the cart. Right?
I believe you, but change the damn button. That sets a false precedent.
Yeah.
Well, there used to be ashtrays for years and played. You still couldn't smoke on them.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start hitting the button where my kid is sitting, see? Because they're not going to get mad at a young kid. Until my kid's like, can I get a Jack and Coke? I'm like, no, son, you can't.
So, somebody
Damn it, so close.
Okay, someone might have got a talking to because there's a 3-drink minimum at SeaTac.
Yeah.
Okay. I go to the.
There's a minimum?
They're maximum.
Sorry, maximum.
I was like, no kidding.
Sorry. So I go to the. So I go to this bar and go. It's one bar I go to all the time, right? So I'm sitting there, and the manager walks up and he goes, "What's the rule, Miles?" And I said, 3 drinks. He goes, "That's correct. 3 drinks." And he walks away.
Oh.
I was like, But typically what
Were
I'll do
you
is,
on 4?
No, typically what I'll do is I get a 22-ounce beer and a double shot for
Right.
on the plane. That's basically what I drink for the most
But
part.
that's it. That covers the whole
But the
thing.
time before that, I must have got another one and got the bartender in trouble.
Oh, really?
From the manager.
Oh, no.
So he remembers. She wasn't there. He remembers me. He walks up. He's like,
What's
3
the
drinks,
rule,
Miles. What's the rule?
Do you know why that happened?
3 drinks.
Do you know why that happened?
No.
Because went to the airport. I'm flying to Austin, I think it was, and the bartender explained that to me. She goes, all right, because I got a double and I got a beer. And she goes, that's all your drinks. And I'm like, I just got here. She goes, look, it's a 3-drink maximum. It's not just our bar, it's all the bars. It's SeaTac. And I'm like, when in the hell did this start? So according to her, it was not at her bar, but a female passenger overdid it, as a lot of people do at the airport bars, but she fell down at the bar and peed herself.
Oh.
And she didn't fall down
no.
like she tripped and hurt herself. She fell down and she's hammered, just passed out on her own on the floor and wet her pants. So
It's a hell of a layover.
not a good look, obviously. So that's
Sure.
when they put this thing in. But the pro tip here is, bartender explained, it's a 3-drink maximum at any given bar. So she's like,
Then
when
you
you
go
were
to
done
the
here,
tequila bar
you
upstairs.
walk right across the hall.
Then you go to the in-gate bar.
So I went to like 4
before you
different
fly
bars.
out.
Because once you say that, it feels like a challenge, you know?
Raise my ass once
I
you
just
just.
can't believe the manager walked by and name checked you.
Yeah, that's
What's
at
the
an
rule,
airport.
Montgomery?
Miles, what's the rule? 3
Potatoes.
drinks. 3 drinks. I remember you. You talked to me before. Alaska Airlines flight had a little bit of a problem taking off. A flight scheduled for Walla Walla was halted after a remark was reported at the port of Seattle police. The flight crew adhered to safety protocols by taxiing the aircraft to the outbound runway, which is the furthest from the terminal, because when you threaten a bomb, they take the plane as far out as possible. Authorities arrested the suspect. All passengers were deplaned for a thorough K-9 inspection of the aircraft and baggage. No suspicious items were discovered. The runway did reopen at 1:45, and by 2, passengers were transported by bus for rebooking.
That is so annoying.
But that's the other issue too. It doesn't matter how small it is; like they have to treat it.
They have to,
like the emergency it is.
Okay. Your guess is as good as mine. Coming up, it's up 4:30. The categories: the happiest and unhappiest states, and delicious beer. And we got your emails coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed. Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Your guess is as good as mine. Cut up the categories: delicious beer and unhappy states. But first, time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail.
Jump right to the birthdays, brought to you by our friends at Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa and San Juan Salsa Company.
Dip responsibly.
Hola, guys. Would you please wish my grandson Oliver a very happy second birthday? So, could I get a little kidfish sandwich and Mickey and Goofy, wishing him a happy birthday? Maybe Coach Ted with advice on how to catch fireflies with his brother, as he lives in Arkansas. I love you lots. That from Grandma Michelle and Grandpa Greg.
Fish challenge.
Well, God, it sure is nice for your grandparents to send you in a birthday request, but what's even nicer is how much money they're willing to spend on you at Disney World.
Good news. You'll be seeing old Mixter in no time at all. Your grandparents paying for it all, so make sure you tell them thanks. All right, 2 years old. It's pretty simple, all right? We got to go out there. We need a cup, preferably a red cup. You live in Arkansas. Your parents have them. Second of all, you take the red cup, gotta scoop one of the little fireflies in there, put your hand over it. Now, at this point, I know we're thinking, we don't want it to die. It won't die if we can do this properly. We can put foil over top or saran wrap. Remember to poke some holes so it can breathe.
Guys, I want to wish our Bean a very happy 16th birthday. Beanie, you're such a great child. Thank you for all the love and great memories that you brought to our lives. So, can we get Coach Ted and the captain to give him advice on his driver's license? Maybe some dad jokes and to cut that bitch off. Thanks, guys, and thanks for all the entertainment you bring us. That from Mom, Dad, Christian, and Aiden. What do we got first here?
Coach?
Yes.
He's turning 16. He's about to
years
go
old.
get this license.
16
All right.
years old.
Keep your friends out of the car. No text is worth dying over it. I mean this seriously. When you get there, you can look at it. It's not going to be worth it. Have your musical station set. Just leave it on 99.9. Rip the knob off.
Rip the knob off. Ooh, well, ahoy there. What a loaded question for the old Capitan. Realizing that you're 16, so my actual advice, probably not something I should share. But it did involve the Keebler elves, because they can reach places that ordinary people can't. I'll let you do the math. Crunch berries.
I got fired from my job at the ice cream shop.
Oh, yeah?
I don't work on Sundays. This weekend, my daughter asked me if that was a booger on my nose.
What'd you say?
Told her it's not. Oh, it's not, Joe.
It's not.
And a little known fact. Did you guys know that Bruce Lee had a brother who was a professional hockey player?
Goalie?
Goalie, yes.
He did have a brother named Brock.
Broccoli.
Yes.
Guys, can you wish a happy birthday to Jason, the best husband a girl can have? He is amazing, supportive, and can always make me laugh. He would love the Dirty Germans talking about running a Ironman triathlon with him. Thanks for all the laughs, guys. That from the lovely Allie.
Yeah, in Deutschland, the Ironman triathlon is when you have sex with Robert Downey Jr. overnight.
Yeah, it's the hard part is making sure he doesn't get all rusty afterwards.
Yeah, keep him lubed.
It's the Iron Man. Yeah, it's simple. Don't do it.
Guys, I want to wish my little nephew Benny. I wish he lived closer so we could visit a local brewery and get hammers at Dick's in Seattle. But he is now stationed in Dover.
Oh.
Maybe next year I'll have a chance to visit him and explore the D.C. area or Philly, or we could fish along the coast of Delaware to celebrate. Either way, he loves listening to your show. I introduced him to it years ago when he would visit the area. He's a dedicated fan of your podcast there on the Odyssey app, and he's 32 today. So he hopes to hear from Coach Ted and Miles for some dad jokes on his birthday. Maybe the Dirty Germans is better. I like them better, but it's his day, so there you go. Happy birthday, Benny. Lots of love. That from Aunt Kristen.
All right, I mean, look, your uncle's not wrong here, man. Listen, if you're living in Dover, Dover's not that exciting, but thanks for serving in the military. But you got Dewey Beach right there. You got Ocean City down the street. Like, summertime, that's a great place to live.
Yes.
Wintertime, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
This is a great time of the year to be there.
Yeah, Delaware jumps off for the summer.
And then it doesn't. That's simple.
Dad jokes. Guys, my neighbor got arrested for growing marijuana in his yard.
Oh, yeah?
That's when I found out where my property line is. Here's a God joke. Did you know that God's first name is actually Andy?
Really?
Andy walks with me.
All these years, I was so
right there.
confused.
Never knew you had a name.
Andy walks with
Andy
me?
walks with
Andy
me.
walks with me.
Yeah.
Andy. Please wish Derek, a.k.a. the Master Crab Baiter, a happy birthday. How about the Dirty Germans explaining the benefits of using, what kind of oil is that? Anise oil?
Anise, yeah.
To catch crabs. Thanks for all you do. That's from John, comptroller of the Western chapter of the Ted Smith's fan club. What is anise?
It's like the flavor of licorice, kind of.
To catch crabs with that?
I have no idea.
How about that?
Yeah, the easiest way for me to catch crabs is to sleep with Tina.
Yeah, I guess it's, she put a little oil right there around your plastic worm.
Yeah.
So, around your jig. So lots of places that can use that oil now.
Yeah, your man jig.
Oh, we should get a contestant on the line now for your guess is as good as mine. Call now 206-803-ROCK. Couple extra birthdays. Hola, guys. This is Addison. Just wanted to wish my dad, Jason, a very happy birthday. He loves some extra long farts and green beans. Thanks, guys. That from Addie.
Extra long fart. Extra long. Green bean. What? Green bean. Okay. Green bean. Yeah.
And gentlemen, please wish my oldest and bestest drummer ever, Rod, pronounced Stumpner, a very happy 55th birthday. Giving him an owl hitting the window, and Coach Ted with advice on keeping time without the bassist holding the groove. P.S. More golf, please. Miles hit a great shot for our group on hole 6. We failed 4 times for the bird. Oh, well, 4. Thanks, guys. That from the lone hippie.
All right. I mean, listen, you're the drummer, so you know this damn well. You set the timing. All right? They go as fast as you go or as slow as they want to go. And if the goofy bass player can't keep up, you stay with your rhythm, man. That's his whole thing. He needs to add funk in there and stay on time.
Big Ray with our country band.
Yell at him at practice.
There you go.
Yeah, come on, Jimmy.
And finally, for the birthdays,
Jackass.
all the boys, Gwen, the kick-ass security guard who deals with us all delightful morons, turned 60 years old today. She's a pistol, a firecracker, and a take no crap.
She's a human being.
No one with a smile and a stare that could set you on fire. So could you give her a you big dummy, some thrill shotgun gets, and maybe Coke Ted telling her how to handle the zombies that like to wander aimlessly in their haze around the building. Thanks, guys, and cheers. That from our buddy VD.
You big dummy.
Get.
Get. All right, now listen, Julie, I'm going to give you this advice, but this advice I would give you if I was on Coke. Simple thing is this. I would go down there and be preemptive. You see one wandering around? Headbutt. See one getting close to the building? Headbutt them again. Point is, if they're on the ground, they're not bugging you. Take that advice.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Mama. Time for a little Your Guess is as good as mine. It's an easy game to play. You pick from one of 2 categories and try to get as many right in said category before 3 strikes, and you're out. Steve, who is our contestant, ready to play Your Guess is as good as mine.
Hello, Kat. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up, fellas?
Hola.
Kyle, welcome to the program, and Your Guess is as good as mine. All right, Kyle, we have for you today a study that ranked the happiest or unhappiest states in the United States of America, driven by, good economies, the health of people, the prices of things, the sunshine, weather is big on this list, and economic uncertainty. So you can either go happy or you can go the most unhappy on this category. And then, Kyle, here's a weird one. We have the signature beer of every state in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kyle, if you've traveled, you pick the state you've traveled to and guess that signature beer. Do you understand how that would work out?
Are you talking locally? I guess I don't understand how that one would work.
Okay. All right. So let's assume that you are in, what would be a good example? Texas. What would be the one beer that pretty well is the state beer of Texas?
That'd be Shiner Bock, yeah.
That would be Shiner Bock. Do you want to take this category?
Yeah, might as well. Might as well go for it.
Okay. All right. So you know the game is played. You pick the state that you've been to before, and just try to guess the beer that is the most popular that represents that state. Okay. So do you want to go with you want to go with Texas as your first guess?
Yeah, let's go with Texas first guess.
All right, you got one right. Okay. Now you know the game is played.
I would have guessed Lone Star as well.
Oh wow, cool.
But we would have been wrong.
It is the Shiner Bock. Okay.
Let's go with Washington, and I'll go Rainier.
Rainier is correct. You are 2 for 2. Okay, now you know the game is played.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. We'll go Colorado.
Colorado. Oh, keep in mind, Kyle, one more thing.
What's that?
So Coors, Budweiser, Miller Lite, the big guys are not part of this.
Right. Oh, what the hell? Now you tell me.
Yeah, well, that's why I stopped you,
Miles.
because you said Colorado. So I want to make sure that you know. I will give you a hint. You might not know this, but this is the most popular beer probably at the ballpark in Colorado. When we first started brewing our own beer, how many ever years ago that was then?
16, 17.
Something like that. This brewery actually brewed the beer for us and shipped it up to the Seattle area because we didn't have a bottling facility here. They did all that and bottled our beer and put it in an 18-wheeler and shipped it up here.
Oh, man, my confidence is dwindling real quick now. So
you know it. I mean, to me, that's still a pretty big beer. It's just not Coors in Colorado.
Trying to give it a hint. Like,
if you like to ride bicycles, you'll like the beer.
If you'll see this on the back of Jeeps, definitely.
Yeah, Miles is right. These things on bicycles are very popular on the beach.
Yeah, it's not very skinny.
Yeah, it's not skinny at all. It's
Fat Tire.
Fat Tire is correct.
All right.
Colorado, there you go.
All right.
Okay, Kyle, you're getting it. Okay, so you're 3 for 3, dude. All you need to do is pick 7 more states and figure out what you believe the local popular swill is. How about Alaska? You should be able to get that one.
Well, yeah, we'll go Alaska, and then I'm not confident at all on this one.
This is the one that's probably in all the grocery stores.
Right? I'm guessing, what do you call that when 2 letters match up? Right?
I don't know. I'm not tracking with Hawaii. I have some confidence.
The only beer I know from Alaska is Alaskan Amber.
Oh, really?
That's what I would think is Alaska.
Is that what you're going to go with?
Yeah, that's what I'll go with.
Okay, because that's correct.
All right.
Alaskan Brewing Company's Amber Ale.
I really overthought that.
I was like, wait a minute. Is there something else I'm not thinking of?
Don't overthink this too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know anything about California?
Yeah, to an extent. I have a pretty good guess for Hawaii, though.
All right. Do you want to go Hawaii first?
Yeah, let's go Hawaii. Let's go Kona.
Kona is correct.
Yeah, that's the one I can figure out.
Okay.
Ooh, New York, I probably have.
All right, so you've got so far correct. Texas, Washington, Colorado, Alaska, and Hawaii. Here's your hint for California. This is the beer that started, in my mind, the craft beer revolution in the entire country.
I know it.
Ted had one very early on in his drinking days and probably spit it out.
Correct.
Is there a mountain range with this thing?
There is.
Okay.
There is.
All right.
Sierra Nevada.
There you go. Okay.
And I mean, even when I worked at a liquor store at 19, we sold that beer.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're right. It was a big deal at the time.
It was massive. If you weren't like a bartender or like a hophead, you didn't know what that was.
Okay. Kyle, I'll give you another.
Like an ethnic slur.
I'll give you another.
Hophead?
Yeah.
I'll give you another hint. Okay.
Okay.
This was basically, if you go Illinois, this was the first major craft beer that launched out of the Chicago area. All right. You will find this on tap handles at airport bars throughout the country. It's got a very unique handle on it. And it's basically only sold in IPAs around the country. Now, if you go to the Chicago area, they've got a bunch of different styles.
Yeah.
Am I right on
I
this?
don't know about that one.
Yes, that is correct.
I didn't know that was Chicago.
Think of a bird.
Yeah.
Really mean bird.
A bird.
Yep. A waterfowl.
The beer
if
is
you will.
named after a bird.
Oh, God.
And not its Canadian brethren.
Yeah. Nobody likes this bird.
Oh, no.
It's good in like comforters, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So
Is that a pillow
dead,
as well?
yeah. Yeah, when they're dead, people love them. When they're alive, we hate them.
I like to walk in traffic and just stop everything.
Speaking of dead, there was a character name and he died.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, God, yeah.
Very
Universally sad.
Very popular military movie.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, so I'm just going to say the duck, but I have no idea.
What did you say?
The duck.
The duck.
The duck.
It is Goose Island Goose IPA.
Yep.
Okay.
That is the most popular. I don't know if you've seen that before, but it's actually got a goose head on the top.
Credit to Giant Company Budweiser. Goose Island's a good beer. That was one of the first ones they bought up.
Absolutely.
I don't
Okay.
ever think I've seen it, honestly.
It's not as big out here, but in the Midwest, it's massive. It's pretty big on the East Coast, too.
Okay, what other states have you traveled or spent time in, Kyle?
I'm from Wyoming, so you would think I would know this one, but...
Okay.
Boy, can you give me a hint on that one?
Oh, the name of a Martian.
Of a Martian?
A Martian.
Like from Mars.
How can I
planet.
think of...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much only one.
Marvin?
Oh, is it Marvin?
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Okay.
Marvin the Martian.
Actually,
Martin?
I'm going to give it to you. It's Melvin.
Oh, you went Melvin?
I forgot. Close enough. Close enough.
What's Melvin beer?
Melvin Brewing Company.
Huge in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard of that before, Kyle?
No, never have.
Okay, that's the one on the list. So I don't know too much about
Melvin.
Wyoming, so I can't really vouch for it one way or another.
Yeah, they got an
I was
IPA.
close. Okay, how about Louisiana? You should be able to get this one.
2x4 double IPA.
If you go to a New Orleans restaurant in Seattle, they'll have this beer. They typically always have it
I
in
know
bottles.
exactly what the beer is, and I cannot think of the name. It's driving me crazy.
They
I
used
know
to have
exactly the
they
beer.
used to have a purple haze that they named in honor of Jimi Hendrix, and it had kind of a blueberry hint.
Yeah, this is
Kinda-
Louisiana.
Kind of close to the Kitty Cat
Yeah,
Blues that Black
very
Raven
big.
does.
And it's still out there, by the way.
It's still, yes, very popular.
God, I had no idea on this one.
Well, pick a different state then. If you don't know, there's no point in me
Yeah.
shoving one down your throat.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to think on it myself.
Well,
just for the sake of keeping this thing going, let's just go Arizona.
Arizona. Okay, we got Arizona. What do you think it is?
I'm thinking something Mexican, so I'm just going to... But you said I can't do the big brands, though, right? That's the problem.
Well, I mean, typically this beer is going to be brewed in that state. It is going to be there. So if for Washington, if you're going to say Rainier, you say Rainier. Olympia would be another great guess.
Right.
So would
Yeah.
Men's Room IPA from Black Raven. Another great guess.
Is there a
I'm
beer
just gonna
called
go-
Flagstaff or something like that?
Well, there's a city called Flagstaff.
No, I knew that. I was thinking there was a beer. Never mind.
Do you know the East Coast very well, Kyle?
No, not really. See, that's the other problem is I haven't really traveled to the East Coast that much.
I think
A
you would
little
know
bit.
this beer. Delaware was one of the first major distributors of what we would like to think is the East Coast
It's also the
craft
name.
beer scene.
It's also the name for those annoying tiny sharks you catch when you're like even salmon fishing in Elliott Bay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Technically, it's a fish, but it looks like a little shark.
You know, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to take a strike on that one.
No,
I just
you
don't
pick.
know.
Hey, Kyle, I'm suggesting states.
Okay.
You pick your own state and guess. I just thought you might have known that one because you can get it at QFC.
Dogfish.
Yeah, dogfish is the answer. Right? Correct.
Oh, dogfish. Okay. How many? I guess here's a question for you. How many do I have so far?
You have right now. You have 7 correct. Texas, Washington,
correct.
Colorado, Alaska, Hawaii, California, and Wyoming, and you only have 1 strike.
I can tell you, the state of Pennsylvania, their beer sounds like a name that you'd give to a panda bear.
That doesn't help at all. Let's go Massachusetts, and I'll go Sam Adams.
Massachusetts and Sam Adams. That is correct.
All
Okay,
right.
now you got 8.
I'll tell you what, Summer Sam's a delicious beer.
They have a lot of great beers. They really do.
Yeah,
Okay.
And great
All right,
hair.
You should be able to figure out Oregon, Kyle. This was the first. The Pale Ale was their first big beer. All right. Then they expanded.
It's a river, right?
It is a river.
Oh, okay.
So what did you just say?
Deschutes.
You got about a hand. All right. Okay. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kyle, you've got 9. You've got 9.
man.
You only need one
I'm
more
9.
state and one more beer. You still have 2 strikes remaining.
Let's go Montana.
Let's go Montana. There's a couple we know of. Now, I will tell you this. It is not the cold snack. It was the one before that. All right? Again, back to the craft beer world. You know this.
I'm going to go Big Sky.
Big Sky is correct. Moose Drool.
Moose Drool,
Bruno.
'cause they make Moose
You
Drool.
won it.
All right.
There you go, Kyle. That was a hell of a job, man. That was not an easy way to do that. You got 10. You got Oregon, Massachusetts, Texas, Washington, Colorado, Alaska, Hawaii, California, Wyoming, and Montana.
Is New York Genesee?
New York is 6 Point Brewing Company's double IPA.
Okay, good.
I've never heard of that.
What was Massachusetts? It was Sam.
It was Sam Adams. Pennsylvania's Yingling.
Is Maryland Natty Boh?
Maryland is Union Craft Brewing.
Okay. All right.
Double Duck Pin Pale Ale.
Yes, they're in East Baltimore. I know where they're at.
Okay. Very good.
All right. I never know.
Speaking of drinking, coming up, we'll drink and toast for the shout of the day. You are listening to the Men's Room.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed. Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
When a cold has you down, it's the little comforts that lift you up. A warm blanket, a cup of tea, and a tissue that actually feels good on your skin. Infused with aloe, Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe provides a hint of cooling freshness to help your skin feel restored. So, whether your skin is feeling dry, chafed, or irritated, you're only one wipe away from helping it feel relieved. So, the next time you have a cold, get a hint of instant cooling relief with new Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers in select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Come up here at 5:08. We'll drink and toast with the shout of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. Experts are warning women against relieving themselves in the shower.
Yes, I read this.
You read this.
Too steamy?
I thought it was everybody.
Oh,
Men,
it is.
women.
Actually, it is.
All right.
It's men and women.
Yeah.
So women, they don't want you to get used to use the bathroom that way because
standing.
Because then later in life,
right,
you might not be able to control that.
Correct.
And if you're used to doing it when you're standing up,
Really?
then you're because you're not tightening the same muscles.
I got you.
Right. You're telling your body that it's okay to do the standing up, which could loosen things up down the line.
All right.
But I stand up every time.
You don't have a vagina, Ted. Or maybe you do, to be fair. I've never checked.
40% of people in Germany who are men pee sitting down.
Yeah, that was number one.
I'm not against it because it gets very loud. And if you sat down all the time, it would cut back on splashing.
It would.
That's for
But
sure.
we all have to agree to sit, which I don't think people will do.
No, that's fact.
That's because that's always been my simple rule.
Well, they said, like in the States, it's considered emasculating, so it's just not something that catches on. While
Right.
in Germany, they're like, sit your ass down, you got to pee.
Right. Nasty ass splashing all over the damn place.
Take a seat.
Not to mention when you're drunk, it's better to do it that way because you miss half the time when you're drunk too.
Yeah, I've learned that.
Sit your ass down. It makes it better for the morning. A recent clinical trial revealed that psilocybin provides a benefit for people with cancer and depression.
Well, definitely depression, I know.
Yeah. I've known a couple people that have not like they're popping mushrooms or anything like that, but they're experimenting with that particular drug, and it's actually it's worked wonders.
Mm-hmm. There's research with PTSD.
So that drug seems to be the wonder drug if you do it right.
Correct.
Like
Correct.
anything.
Like I saw a guy years ago. He had horrible cluster headaches.
Cluster headaches.
It's cluster migraines.
Right.
Some people get migraines. The cluster migraines typically happen more frequently but are less severe, but they still suck.
God.
Right. The only thing he found was somebody said try psilocybin, but he hates it. And he's just kind of not positive how much he doses. He basically has to tell his family, just don't come in the bedroom for a day. Wow. I got to do this once a month. Yeah. Which is funny because I know a lot of people that just enjoy the psilocybin, but this guy hated it. But
I know a guy like that.
It helped so much that he did it once a month religiously.
Good.
Now he loves it.
Now we're in. A dad in New York was dragged to a Pedro Pascal look-alike contest, and he walked away winning $50 and a year's worth of burritos.
Did you see the guy?
I did. He looked just like him.
Right. Tell me that was not him.
That was.
That was him.
That was Pedro.
No, that was.
No. Oh.
And I want to say like his daughter dragged him there or something like that. You've got to do this.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know. And then,
He could pass for his brother easily.
Easily. Man. Yeah.
Scientists have discovered a new technique with zinc alloys that could be a viable alternative biodegradable implant for patients.
All right. Good.
Yeah. It's fantastic. A new study found that lonelier adults may actually live longer.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, no.
It's good news for traffic reporters.
See how much money I saved, too?
That's why you live longer. You can afford your care.
He's happy. Another new study found that trusting others makes us happier and, in turn, makes us trust people more easily.
Yes.
Yeah, when you find somebody
take
that's
comfort
trustworthy.
in trusting someone. Yeah, amazing. They did a study. I hate trusting people.
It turns out that poor sleep can rewire the brains of teenagers, leading to mental health issues down the line.
That explains so much.
Right. You need sleep.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do a study. I don't care what age you are. Poor sleep can't be good for anybody.
No.
And teenagers are already going through everything crazy anyway.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, so a little sleep deprivation as your hormones change. Let's see what happens.
Right. There's a woman that celebrated her 102nd birthday recently, and she only wanted one thing, Steve.
I saw this. She wanted a stripper.
She wanted a stripper.
Now, that said, did you see the stripper that showed up?
I did.
Okay. I don't know if she requested specifically. To be nice, I'll say a dad bod. But I'm looking at this picture like, okay, did you save money on this dude? Did you just pull him off the street and say, like, we'll throw you a couple bills, man, just gonna get naked for a Meemaw here? I mean, I was looking at him like, wow.
She can't see very good anyway, but
Yeah, well, passes for a stripper in England would not do so well here.
But sometimes when you get to that age, you just need to find that life again. You need to find that verb. You want to get back out on the market again. But don't worry, I've got tips for you.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10. 10 or more things no one tells older men about dating again. Well, good for you for getting back out there at your age. I'm guessing you saw some old fart walking around with a fine-looking feline on their arm, and you said, well, hell. If Walter can do it, then by God, so can I. Couple things to remember before you get down to business. Do some stretches. You don't want to pull something. At your age, it could mean life or death. Also, make sure you grease the weasel. Pro tip. And finally, figure out what you're going to do during the 20 or more minutes it's going to take to pop that pill and prep that rocket for launch.
All righty.
Prep that rocket.
This is things that nobody tells older men about dating again. They start with, it's normal to feel a bit lost at first. Where are all the women at?
Lost with what?
You might think dating again should be easy because you've done it before, but it often feels unfamiliar. The apps, the pace, and even the way people talk all make it feel like a different world. Feeling unsure or even awkward doesn't mean you're not ready. It just means it's been a while. Been a while.
I think most people that go on like their first date, it's awkward or they're nervous.
Right.
I don't think
It's
age matters.
Awkward damn thing altogether.
I was going to say, it's already awkward. Then if you were married for so long and haven't done it, of course it's going to be awkward.
Right. And right behind it there makes sense. Confidence comes back just lower than you like.
Hang on, baby. My confidence is kicking in. How do I telegraph that I want to have sex without being creepy?
Right.
Well, that's pretty much every first date. That's actually why I'm here.
Exactly. You don't have to try to be younger. Again, these are things that nobody tells older men about dating again. There's a difference between staying youthful and pretending to be 30. A lot of old men think that they have to keep up with trends or act a certain way to impress younger women. But confidence, stability, and self-awareness are far more attractive.
Oh, so we're going after younger women, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Then you need money.
Yeah.
And to be a coach in the NFL.
Or college.
That's right.
Yeah. Maybe it helps if you have coached in the NFL.
Yes.
Emotional availability matters more than ever. When you're younger, dating can be more about fun or chemistry, but later in life, the emotional side becomes just as important. Many people want real conversation, shared values, and someone who could show up without hiding behind walls.
I think you know that
All right.
just based on the fact that you're older.
Hey.
Right? That's like where your interests have gone.
Exactly.
But make no mistake, I still want to have sex with you.
Right.
I mean, just
That's why I'm here, baby. How do we get from here to your bedroom?
Yeah, that's all.
You might have to unlearn a few old habits.
I leave that one alone.
Just take that one out of the repertoire there, old man. The way dating worked 10 or 20 years ago isn't always how it works now. I can't do that anymore.
Not as quickly.
I don't have the hips for it anymore. Oh, no. Chemistry still matters, but it looks different. You might not feel butterflies right away, and that's okay. Real connection often starts with comfort, not fireworks. At this stage, chemistry can come from laughter, shared values, or just feeling at ease around someone.
And also, I want to have sex. Whatever else I put on this list, it comes back to.
I want to pour this into that.
Yeah, I want to pour some sugar on you.
Yeah, that's right. Come here, baby. Things that nobody tells older men about dating again. Dating apps can be exhausting.
Well, yeah.
And still worth it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, people run marathons.
Right.
And there's no reward. So, yeah, take as long as something great happens, just take the time on the app, man.
I mean, I will say with the apps, dating's become almost more like a numbers game.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to get them. It's just like, well, all right, people have a checklist. So, like, it is much different.
It is. It's like choosing fruit at the doggone grocery store. There's a whole bunch that just like, hey, we're the same fruit. We're ready to go.
That's why you get a free grape.
That's right. That's why you go with a free grape.
Heck yeah.
Put that on your profile.
Let me try this
I
first.
take free grapes. They say the swiping, the small talk, and ghosting can be frustrating, especially if you're used to face-to-face connection.
I haven't done that in a while. Since you guys busted my bees about it, I have not taken it. Unless it's one of those cotton candy ones.
You're going to take the cotton candy
I'm going
one?
to try one of those every time and they come out every year.
I don't think anyone was busting your balls. More like it's theft.
It's just straight up theft.
Guys are busting my balls about robbing banks.
All right.
I think you should double down, Montgomery. Stare the dude in the eyes and just keep eating.
Just keep popping.
See how many
testing the product.
You go to the bulk area, right? They got banana chips.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take one.
No.
I don't.
Really?
They have a sign there that says, please don't sample the bulk.
I've never seen that.
I've seen it there at the
If I
Winco.
read that, I never would have taken that banana.
Could you get away with that if you said you're illiterate? Like, sir, there's a sign put like, I can't read.
I can't read.
So I didn't know.
I used to do it all the
Knowing
time as a kid. Then my mom used to get really mad at me. It was like, stop eating food out of the bulk section. So they're like, do you want me to go check over there? And finally she was like, I know you're eating food over there. No, I'm not.
No,
Yes, you are. Because they had like candy and stuff. They used to have like just these barrels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were big enough to take some.
It's right there, right for the taking.
Oh, look, free chips.
Things that nobody tells older men about dating again. Good conversations matter more than flashy first impressions. At your age, you don't need to be doing a whole lot of flashy first impressions.
And again, I want to have sex with you.
I mean, it's not like a hint for like, you can go the Belichick route, but like, hey, that could be a tough conversation.
That's right. The only thing you're flashing is Benji's.
Yeah. Keep her happy.
That's right. Smooth opening line or polished photo might catch somebody's attention, but what really keeps people around is the way that you talk, listen, and make them feel heard.
Yeah, I'm listening.
What?
I can't hear you. Did you say you want to have sex with me?
I asked, do you want to have sex?
Goddamn, we should be in charge of people's dating life.
Oh, absolutely.
Just keep repeating. Do you want to have sex?
I said, can you still put your legs behind your head?
I like the idea, Miles. You don't have to use it, but like just like dating's like picking fruit. It can be tough. I always take a free grape. Just like, hey, even if you're the piece of fruit he doesn't want, he's in.
Do you push the melon button?
The melon button?
You pick up a cantaloupe, right? You stick your thumb in the button. Smell it?
You smell your thumb after pushing
Take
it
your
into
thumb.
the melon.
Okay, you know the little.
Yeah, but why are you smelling your finger?
Why are you thumbing the button?
Because you're trying to get the ripe cantaloupe, right?
I think you're just ruining
So
cantaloupe.
you stick your thumb like this and you jam it in the button, right? And if it pushes in a little bit, you got yourself a good cantaloupe. Then you smell it. And if it smells like cantaloupe, you take that one home.
You're a weird dude at the grocery store.
But you gotta push a lot of buttons to find the one that's the right one. True story.
Oh my God.
I'm right about that.
Miles just over here thumbing cantaloupe.
I stick my thumb in the button.
And then smelling it.
I want to use about 5 or 6 more days.
I'll check like an avocado with my
Oh,
thumb.
you thumb that button. That's okay.
The button squeeze the side, man.
Leave it with the button.
Come on, man. Leave the button
Well,
alone.
that's what they say you're supposed to push.
Where's your fruit button?
Seriously.
I'm going to press it.
That's what they say.
I'm going to press your fruit button.
Look this up.
Hey,
That's
girl.
a good one.
This is science telling you to press that.
Maybe do that on the first date. Where is your fruit button? And man, insert my thumb in.
You
This
are
one's
right.
ready.
God, you're right.
And then I'll leave you with this last thing that nobody tells older men about dating again. Not everybody will understand what you're looking for.
All right.
What a kidding.
I'm looking for sex.
Yeah, I want to have sex. Everyone knows what you're looking for.
Some people will assume you're looking for something casual. Others will expect you to want to settle down fast. The truth is, your path is your own. You might not fit into somebody
What's
else's.
the path between your legs?
I want to get to that trail right there.
I want to get to your fruit button.
Jeez, West. All right, how does a baby shower turn into a crime scene there, Miles?
How does that happen?
Tell you about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we managed to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink test and Steve Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. First, from the text line, someone says Miles is right.
All right.
By pressing the fruit button.
Yes, you press
Stepping
them with your thumb. And then you take a big old whiff of
Why
it.
can't you use another finger? If I like
Because
stick
it
my
doesn't have
pointer-
enough pressure. You need the thumb pressure.
So I'm pressing my fruit button wrong if I'm not using my thumb.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. There's a way to press a fruit
thumb that button.
Yeah, thumb the button. You need a shirt that says that.
button.
Thumb the melon. Today we chose 40-year-old Lewis Hamilton, 7-time Grand Prix champion. What? Hey, man, look, this past Sunday, he's up in Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix. And he himself says, hey, man, I held my position. He was managing the tires well. As he says, quote, I was feeling so optimistic. And then something happened. The floor of his Ferrari was damaged. Left a hole in the floor, and that cost him about half a second per lap. So at that point, he just took solace in the fact that he finished the race after all. He also was enduring a brake problem, which might explain what happened. During the Grand Prix, yeah, he rolled over a hit and killed a groundhog.
Oh!
Seriously? I swear to God, dude.
And
I don't know.
He's like,
And he's an animal lover, right?
yeah, he's
So
pretty. I mean, he's read his quotes like he's pretty shook. He killed a groundhog.
He didn't know it was a groundhog when he hit it because he's going too fast, obviously. And they told him later, like, hey, man, you hit a groundhog. And, like, he's crushed. And I'm like, bro, it's okay. He's like, it's not. I love animals. I hope it didn't suffer. It's like, oh, it didn't suffer. It just, you know, a groundhog during a Grand Prix race. That does not happen
An
much.
F1 car.
In F1, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe a stock car he could have took it. That F1 car. Come on.
You see the little
Yeah.
guy pinwheeling behind it?
Yeah, he finds that hitting a groundhog is, quote, devastating. That is his quote. It's horrible. It's never happened to me here before. Probably not, man.
Well, they're all over.
I know
around
they're
that
all
track.
over, but
So, that's like things never happened to me.
so we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bitchola. All right, let's see here. Let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This now. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today. and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
When a cold has you down, it's the little comforts that lift you up. A warm blanket, a cup of tea, and a tissue that actually feels good on your skin. Infused with aloe, Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe provides a hint of cooling freshness to help your skin feel restored. So, whether your skin is feeling dry, chafed, or irritated, you're only one wipe away from helping it feel relieved. So, the next time you have a cold, get a hint of instant cooling relief with new Kleenex Cooling Plus Aloe. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers and select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed. Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, it's easy to connect to vibrant destinations across Europe. Whether you're sipping espresso in stylish Milan or raising a stein at Oktoberfest in Munich, Condor makes your journey just as enjoyable as your destination. With spacious cabins and relaxing service, your vacation starts the moment you board. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Thrillhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Our caller dropped off.
Okay.
Conveniently. So you gentlemen will be facing one another today. And today's categories, I'm going to limit it to 2 because, Miles, I know you know the answer to 1 because you handed me the story. So in this case, today we offer you Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? Your other category is Hit Me with Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional object that someone chose to use as a weapon.
Hit me.
Hit me.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
We were just talking about grocery stores, and now we go to New Hampshire, where a person was injured after being attacked with produce at a supermarket. Police in Tilton, they responded to Market Basket on Market Street shortly after 6 p.m. Now, details are very limited, but police said that a person was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries after being struck with the food. No arrests have been made, but the incident remains under investigation. Now, the question is, what type of produce was used in the assault, sending this person to the hospital? Was it a lime? Was it a head of lettuce? Was it a watermelon? Or was it a grapefruit? So lime, head of lettuce, watermelon, or grapefruit. What did someone take upside the head and end up going to the hospital?
Personally, I think that you're throwing us a curveball and it was a lime.
A lime.
I think it's small, but I think if it's placed right and thrown hard enough, it could do some damage.
It could.
See,
I hit a kid with an apple years ago, man. I did not think it would do the damage it did. I actually felt bad.
I'm going to go head of lettuce.
Let us eat.
All right, I'll take the obvious one and just say a watermelon.
Watermelon for Ted.
Seems like you break a watermelon over somebody's head, you really hurt them.
What was this person attacked with? A lime, a head of lettuce, a watermelon, or a grapefruit? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed. Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Got a new Hampshire person who was attacked while shopping at the grocery store.
Yes.
Apparently in the produce section because they were hit with produce. So the question is, and they went to the hospital. So were they hit with a lime, a head of lettuce, a watermelon, or a grapefruit?
And that is the question that I posed to you three fine gentlemen. Out of the three of you, each of you picked something different. Ted, watermelon, Mike, lime, Miles, lettuce. One of you is, in fact, correct. The Ted Smith.
It was the watermelon.
It was a watermelon.
Damn.
What do you have to do to piss someone off at a grocery store enough that they pick up a watermelon and smash it over your head?
You've watched them just destroy 10 cantaloupes in front of you?
Just fill them out of that cantaloupe, man.
Do you know that button works for the watermelon, too?
Does it?
Yes.
I just knock them and listen to them.
So you're pounding.
Just knocking on
Yeah,
it.
you kind of knock on it.
I'll be honest with you, half time with a watermelon, I'm not positive. I just pick a couple up to make it look like I know what I'm doing.
Look, man, I'm not big on the produce section for obvious reasons. I don't like any of it. But it is crazy to me to walk into a grocery store because the produce section is always right there, and there's like 12 people at any given time, and they're all doing something. Like any other part of the store, you grab a product, you put it in your basket. You're done. That's it. No, not the produce section. Everyone's like holding stuff up to the ears.
Oh, yeah. It's very
squeezing
important.
it,
It's very important.
Or Miles, thumbing the fruit button.
That's right.
Yeah.
Figure it out, man.
Now for all TV news all the time, and it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, so this is kind of interesting. I believe it's in there, Mike. So this, first, I'll just set it up. I'll play it for you, then I'll give you a little more of the story. But this guy is, he's working down at Fox 11 in L.A., he's flying around covering. He's in the helicopter covering the protest. No Kings protests on Saturday, right?
Okay.
So then a lot of people thought he had a hot mic, but this is what he's just talking and he's being real about his personal life.
You know what? I don't care. I am married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it. But I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life. Yes, it's true. I know. It's hard to believe. I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking. Trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment. You know, do I get lonely? Of course. But I got cats.
Well, yeah, good.
All right. So people were like, it must be a hot mic, and he was talking with the guy who was
the pilot.
The pilot. That's not true. He was actually responding to questions in the YouTube comments. He knew it was live. He was just being honest. I guess somebody
does not
him,
care.
Right. That's what you hear him just go. I don't care. Like, look, so obviously he's going through the divorce.
Yes.
Then people were like, we're asking like, are you drunk? He said, I do love bourbon. I love the whiskey. I love the bourbon. Love the gin. But he's like, but he wasn't drunk. He also wasn't the one flying the plane. Sounds like
no, the pilot is. Mm-hmm.
I honestly, the more like at first I listened to it, just went, oh, that's hilarious. But then the more you listen to it, like you could hear it, he's just kind of like, yeah, like it sucks. Like I'm not I'm technically married. I'm not looking. I'm not
Legally.
looking for anybody else.
Yep.
Like I said, I had a couple debacles in my personal life. Like who knows what happened? Frankly, not our business. But I'm just like, all right. I kind of respect him just being like, yeah.
I mean, so offhand about it. He's not asking for your sympathy.
Yeah.
Just like, this is what's going on, man. And I have
Right. Well,
cats.
especially in today's day and age, we live in such a world where everything on social media is so perfect and everybody's having a great time, and then. You know, like you talk to somebody and they're like, actually, it's not great at all. It's like, oh my God, all right. So, like, I kind of respect him. He's in a public forum. He's just like, no, like, you know, and look, you get divorced, like, somebody's going to know.
It does catch you off guard, though. There was a guy, it was about 4 years ago, and I had not seen him for a while. He is the father of another student at my kid's school. So we see each other. I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? He looks at me dead in the eyes like, Essie. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, you want an honest answer? Essie. I was like, not prepared, but vent on, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's sometimes, especially when you know somebody, like it happened to me a couple months ago, and it was like, you know, somebody that like I used to be friends with, just haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, like the last 2 years have been a real struggle. I said, if you want to really talk about it outside of here, we can.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, I appreciate you being honest. I was like, yeah, I know you and trust you enough. I'm not going to gas you up.
Right. Tell them what happened.
All right. Let's see. Speaking of which, now I don't know. You got nobody's kids in here watch Miss Rachel, right?
No, I don't. I know the
Is that
name.
a,
What
is that a kid's show?
Yeah, my nephew did.
Okay.
So
right.
it's little
There's
kids,
always a
little
newer
kids.
generation. Like you're always going to have like Sesame Street.
Sure.
Bluey, I feel like just fits for a lot. Bluey's kind of like goes up into a high range too.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of kids like Bluey, but I try like little kid stuff. There's Miss Rachel now. Blippy. Yeah, they used
Again,
to
I
be
know
other
the
stuff.
names, but I'm very glad that I don't know these shows.
So basically, Olivia Munn had told People Magazine she doesn't let her kids watch Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel.
Miss Racist. Hey, kids, gather around. Let me
Because
tell you what's
she's
wrong
Except for
with
you two.
those
Go
people.
sit in the back.
She said Mrs. Rachel's YouTube videos annoyed her. Some people go, you know, it's I saw another one where it's like she shouldn't have this most control over your kids with her voice. But it's like, I want to say she has like a degree in like child education or this or that.
All right.
So she knows what she's doing with her voice or whatever. So, of course, the media try to turn this into a thing. Mrs. Rachel replied that there's no problem between her and Olivia Munn. She was focusing and advocating for the children suffering in Gaza. Well, somebody, of course, that's a Mrs. Rachel fan, took it too far, started sending death threats to Olivia.
Miss
Right.
Rachel would not be okay with that.
No.
Correct. John Mulaney came out and said, come on. All right. So then.
Death threats.
Right. People magazine even took the unusual step of removing the original article due to like what's going on here.
Then she just said like she was annoying, right?
Basically, yeah.
Because she's an adult and you're listening.
Correct.
Look, man, I have nothing against. What do they watch all the time? Paw Patrol. Little Einstein. Look,
Peppa Pig.
I hated the shows because I'm a grown-ass man. But you end up watching them because your kids want to watch them with you. I'm glad they don't anymore, but, like, I would hope I don't get death threats like, hey, talk smack on Paw Patrol, mother effer.
Right.
Like, dude.
Right.
No adults enjoy these kids' shows. We sit there because our kids like them, but we're not having fun.
Right.
I mean, she's really just making a statement that any parent who has young kids and you have to endure these shows, and your kids watch them over and over and over. It's like, yeah, of course she finds her annoying. I think it'd be weird if she's like, I really like the show. I'd be like, there's something wrong with her.
And Miss Rachel is an educational show, and she actually has a very good program that's on there that helps children in their development. So she's doing some good there. But it's like nothing there to defend to the death over
Look, man,
here.
Barney never had a negative message.
No.
If you ask my opinion of Barney, I'd take a flamethrower to his ass.
Right.
Correct.
And,
Like
I
I say all
understand
the
he's
time,
positive.
right? Like I love Disney World. But if there's a circle of hell, it involves it's a small world being stuck on that ride. You know what I mean? So I think it's okay here that she was just like, not my thing. Anyhow, Mrs. Rachel had to come out over the top and said, Olivia and I have been in touch. We're both choosing kindness.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Come on,
It's not for you.
It's not. And
You
like,
think Olivia's like, dude.
unless you like musicals, but I just feel like most dudes aren't going to pick a Disney movie, right? Pixar movies generally are like funnier.
Don't say.
But as an adult, right? But like, it doesn't mean everybody's against like a Disney movie. Just have a lot more singing.
Yes.
And they want to sing the song.
That's my opinion of Frozen. Again, I get what it was. I know it's popular. I absolutely detest that movie.
I had 3 CDs of Barney's music.
Oh, God.
Not the show.
It's not even music.
That Barney was a musical television show.
Yes, it was.
So that's how they the kids got hooked on the songs.
Yeah.
God. And I told you people were weird about Miss Rachel. I didn't think it went this far.
No.
It's unreal.
It is.
All right, kind of closing out dad stuff here. Last week we talked about some of the best dads on TV. Today we got best dads from movies.
Movie dads.
All right.
Movie dads.
It's up for you guys. I don't want to get into a big thing, but number 15 on the list, they say Darth Vader in Star Wars because he saved Luke and killed the Emperor.
All right.
Well, no.
All right.
I mean, he did one good
Luke
thing.
saw the
Why
good
saved his
Vader.
son's life?
Luke saw the good invader, and the good invader came back.
He also chopped his hand off and tried to murder his friend.
You know what? There's some growing pains to letting the good back
Okay.
out, all right?
I mean,
My dad threatened to murder a lot of my buddies.
but he didn't call him out for kissing his sister. There was a lot of good.
That's right.
You know?
That's bad parenting.
That's weird.
And he knows a good hand guy.
Oh, Jesus. Atticus Fitch to kill a
Atticus
mockingbird.
You go for a half hour, an hour, Mike.
Cameron Poe, Nicolas Cage, and Con Air. Now,
Okay, I can see that one.
now here's one I think is a really good one. Jason Furious Styles Jr. That was Lawrence Fishburne in Boys in the Hood, 1991.
Yeah. He
When's
did
the
what
last
he could,
time
man.
anybody in here has watched Boys in the Hood?
Oh, it's been a hot minute.
It's every Friday night for me.
So you'll know what I'm saying. It is wild when I rewatch that scene and he's explaining how gentrification works. This was 91.
Yep.
Professor Harry Jones Sr., Sean Connery, and Indiana Jones and
Hell
Lost
yeah.
Crusade.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Yet again, always kept Indy in heart and mind there.
The dad, Eugene Levy in American Pie series.
He was just great and entertaining.
He was.
Very patient.
Very patient. He's always had the best voice for it.
How about
John Quincy Archibald, Denzel Washington, and John Q. Robert De Niro, his character in Meet the Parents.
no Clark Griswold?
Okay, no. Robert De Niro did not play a good father. He played a very protective father.
Clark Griswold's number 2 on the list, Miles.
There we go.
I'm with you. Brian Mills made the first. Liam Neeson from Taken was number 1.
All right.
That's a sign of a good
Robin
dad.
Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
Some of them are kind of funny, but yeah, I think Clark Griswold, Vacation. While Clark
And
was,
you know what?
while
Arguably-
Clark was an idiot, he
Cousin-
was a family man.
He was a good dad.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, loved his
I
family.
mean, he took him everywhere. You know, he was there too.
Cousin Eddie was there, but I don't know that I'd say he was a good dad. Just putting that out there. Bruce Willis at Armageddon. I mean, he died for him, so that's a good one.
He did.
Then Gil Buckman, Steve Martin from Parenthood.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Now, I also say for Father's Day, man, I know the U.S. Open, and Miles, help me out here. Has that always been on Father's Day, or is that like the last 20 years they line
Man,
up?
I don't know.
All right. Somebody
not
told
sure.
me it always has. I guess it has. I don't remember growing up always being on Father's Day. Or maybe my dad didn't care about golf that much. But obviously, yesterday, you're going to have the U.S. Open. So I was like, cool. Could watch some of that. Yeah, the F1 race where, unfortunately, Groundhog lost its life up in Montreal. So that wasn't starting until 11. So I was like, all right. And I'm a big enough nerd where I like college baseball. So I was like, this is great, right? Watch the F1 race. Then I turned on some NASCAR stuff. They were on a road track in Mexico City. And I was like, look at the good old boys. I'm racing down in Mexico City.
Is that the first time they've done it there?
I believe so. I could be wrong. I don't watch
It
NASCAR
could
enough.
be. I just feel like I wouldn't have heard that.
Yeah. But then, so I was watching that, some college baseball, and then, of course, you had Major League Baseball. And then I was telling Mike, even later on, I didn't realize this. There was an IndyCar race that didn't start till like 5 in St. Louis. It's like, yeah, one of those kind of sneaky, good sports days.
You want to hear Living Hell, Ted? My brother went to the U.S. Open yesterday. All right.
Okay.
So,
all right, let me preface this with the U.S. Open for me as a viewer on the West Coast was awesome. But there was, because there was a 3-hour rain delay.
There was.
But for me, it was great because I could watch it in the evening.
So they shuttle people in there. The entire process to get into the golf course takes about 2 hours. By the time you park your car, You get on a bus, you got to wait for a bus, then that bus fills up first, the next bus fills up, the next bus, and then you got to get off the bus, you got to get in there, all that crap. Then they get hit by rain. One thing about that course is it's a private country club. There's no real where to go.
Right.
It's not like you're talking about this big facility. It's a club that maybe a couple thousand people belong to.
Sure.
So food, drinks, all these things, they're kind of prepared, but they're not really prepared.
No.
So he was stuck. He's like, man, it's pouring down rain. This delays 3 hours.
sucks.
Everyone's trying to leave.
Right.
But now the line to the bus is insane because people want to get out of there. They don't know. They think that more than likely that play will be suspended.
I was
and
shocked
this will
they
be
restarted that
This will
tournament.
be picked up on Monday. So people are trying to leave. We'll come back tomorrow. But, I mean, he said it was an interesting Father's Day.
Yeah.
As far as like
No
your level of
kidding.
frustration, like, oh my God, why did I do this?
God.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, as a viewer, for me, it was fine because I was happy to have like live sports on that late on a Sunday. But I can imagine for him and everybody else there.
Oh, God. I mean, and you can't escape that rain. It was dumping.
Yeah, like when I clicked on, this was right before they took the delay, and one guy's on the tee box. It was a par 3. This is a professional golfer. And he had a driver in his hand. And like you could see the rain, and it's like it's raining too hard.
Right.
And then finally he just like walked over his bag, started messing with his gloves. It's like
blow the horn.
Right, like I don't blame him. Like just wait for the
Blow
horn.
the horn.
There is no way they're gonna make you tee off in that weather.
Come on, man.
It was right. Just coming down sideways.
What are we doing?
So they blew the horn and he was fine. Also, if you're like me and you're psycho about mascots, watch the IndyCar races. Firestone Tires has a mascot.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's elite. All right?
He's elite.
He knows how to get in all these camera shots. He's always kind of dancing goofy. Like there's one.
Firestone, is it like a phoenix? What is it?
Yeah, can you look at it and identify what it's supposed to be?
Kind of looks like a bird in a racing helmet.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just so goofy. It does not belong. I feel like it annoys the drivers. Again, I love it.
All right.
I think it's unreal.
His name is Firehawk, a bird-like character associated with Firestone Tires.
Okay. All right, that guy's okay.
You got Game 5 of the NBA Finals on tonight. Come on, Pacers. Beat the Thunder.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room. Put our meat in your mouth and throw the best sausage party in town with delicious Men's Room beer brats from Uli's Famous Sausage. Available at your favorite local grocers. And it's filled with Men's Room IPA from Black Raven. Fire up the grill while helping our friends at the Fisher House. Men's Room beer brat details and locations at KISW.com. You are listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. North Carolina woman gets a DUI after hitting a horse that was on the road. Meanwhile, a Maryland woman gets into an argument at a baby shower and uses her car to unload. A positive story as a principal writes a handwritten note to every student in the graduating class. Grumpy Cat closes down a tunnel, and no car shall pass. And a mongoose breaks out of a wildlife park to find someone to have sex with. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story. We go to Indian Head, Maryland, where good times can turn into bad times. Police were called to a baby shower on reports of a dispute between two women. The story does not detail what exactly set the two off, but they somehow found something to argue about on a day that was supposed to be full of excitement. The argument eventually spilled out into the parking lot, which is when one of the women got into her car and intentionally drove it at the woman that she was arguing with.
Wow.
She made contact with the woman as well as another member of the party that followed the argument outside before ramming into a car that was in the parking lot, which contained a child, though luckily the child was unharmed. The woman then proceeded to circle the parking lot and ram into the vehicle of the woman that she was arguing with. Police arrived, and the woman was arrested on several charges. One person was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and two others were treated there at the scene.
I got to know what the fight was about.
That's what I'm saying. They don't say what
No,
the argument
exactly.
No, it's
I'm
just
going to get in my car and run this person over.
right.
It's obviously one of her friend's kids.
Gotta be.
She's 50-some years old.
Right.
So she had to get into a fight with someone else's mother. Right?
Right.
I don't know.
Who knows?
At the point that you're driving cars over people, I don't think anything rational happened.
No, not at all.
Not at all. I don't get what kind of a fight you get into at a baby shower. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what conversations to and not to have in whatever given gathering that you're at, but I can't imagine conversation
A baby
at a
shower.
baby shower would ever go there.
Like, the only thing I could figure is And the baby's got to be pretty new, but I don't know. That's got to be something, a split family or...
Right.
Because I've only seen like a couple dust-ups at like a wedding or something. It's generally like something like that.
Yeah.
I can't picture anything else getting people so mad at a family function other than, I can't believe she's here or I can't believe he's here.
About to say, you think it was a questionable invite?
Maybe.
Well, if it was, I'm assuming she was the questionable one.
Yeah. In other news, sad scene out of New Hampshire. Local Fish and Game made an announcement about an accident that had occurred in the area. They arrived on the scene of a snowmobile crash in which the driver of the vehicle lost control and came to a crashing halt upside of a tree. The driver did not survive the accident, and after a short investigation, they said that operating on a public way, speeding, and alcohol were all factors in the crash. And the driver was not wearing a helmet at the time of impact. They use this as a moment to remind everybody of the dangers of some of the fun that we have and to consider proper safety measures.
Am I to assume that in the middle of June, there's still snow in New Hampshire, or did this guy get on there and dry ride?
He just dry rode it.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
The one thing they pointed out, like no helmet, alcohol. Also, no snow.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Which could have aided in him not having any kind of control while he was out there as well.
Yeah, I don't know how
He's
they
traveling
handle
at high
him.
speeds without this thing on its actual plane of where it's supposed to be at. Like, I'm not going to speak ill of the man here, but...
Live and learn.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yeah. Right.
Damn. But we're not done with drunk drivers just yet. We go to North Carolina where another accident occurred. Police report that a woman in her mid-20s was driving under the influence in the area and struck a 5-year-old horse. Unfortunately, the animal did not survive the encounter, but what's even worse about that situation is that this horse was the last of his mother's offspring. The local Wild Horse Fund detailed that this particular breed of horse is a critically endangered population, and they were hoping that it would be able to carry on the family line, saying that the genetics of this breed can never be replaced.
Oh.
The woman was arrested and faces some serious charges.
I don't know if I knew that there were wild horses down there.
I know.
I never heard of that.
Well, there's one less.
Yeah.
You know, but
I guess they're not.
It's just kind of the guy I am. It's like, we still have wild horses around here somewhere?
I know Assateague, north of there, but I've never heard of the Outer Banks having wild horses.
Okay.
There's a lot of them, man.
Yeah.
They got them in
so.
Nevada. I mean, the ones at Assateague are awesome.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Just rolling by, then all of a sudden you just see a herd of horses just...
Well, they're kind of out on these barrier islands. They
Yeah.
swim them over to Chinkatink once a year, and they have like a big carnival, and
is the name.
they auction off all these wild ponies.
The wild ones.
And the firemen are but Assateague, the theory is either people put them there so they didn't get taxed on them, or a Spanish ship crashed, and they live out
Slam
there.
and said, all right.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. To Portsmouth, Virginia, where the local animal shelter has a new friend that's becoming a meme. Local animal control caught a call about a cat that had wandered into the downtown tunnel and was causing a disturbance at an inconvenient time. It took a little bit of a time and a shutdown of the tunnel during rush hour traffic, but they managed to capture the cat, which they lovingly named Tunnel Vision. But what's even better about Tunnel Vision is he is reminiscent of an old cat in meme culture known as Grumpy Cat, sporting his own curmudgeon-y face. Luckily for Tunnel Vision, this kind of feature is one that the people can get behind, and the shelter has already fielded several applications for his adoption.
He does not look happy.
No, he doesn't.
does not at all.
He looks miserable.
He's right up your alley, Miles. I'm amazed that you haven't already submitted
exactly.
for this
Like,
cat.
this guy's mine.
Yeah. Bring him on over here. Look at him. He just
Seems like a problem. I should take him in.
Right.
Yep.
Life is pain to this guy. Bring him over to me.
All right.
But just in case those stories with the bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
We go to Texas, where a local principal wanted to do something good. In a time where people seem to be increasingly divided, one principal wanted to show the impact of a random act of kindness. As we near the end of the school year, the principal hand-wrote a letter to each and every student in the graduating class.
I hate you.
All 443 of them, talking about the ripple effect that a single act of kindness can have and the impact on the community. To hammer this point home, he also included a crisp $1 bill in each letter, saying that no act of kindness is too small, and to take the lessons of love that they learn in the school out in the world that desperately needs it and them.
He was going to do a $5, and his wife's like, no.
We're not
spending.
We're not doing that, man.
No.
It's not happening. Men's Room Sports, the confusing run of the Mariners continues as they hosted the Cleveland Guardians all weekend long, following a sweeping loss against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. And they walked away with a sweep of their own, winning all 3 games and protecting against a further fall from first place. Unfortunately, the Astros performed well all weekend as well, maintaining their 4.5-game lead in first place in the AL West. So, as I'm saying, the sweep was very much needed because the Astros were about to really pull some gains out there. So that's good that they kept them at bay. Well done, boys. The Mariners now settle in for some rough baseball as the Boston Red Sox are in town for a 3-game stint starting tonight en route, and you've also got NBA Finals over on ABC. No matter what, man, if the Mariners are playing the Red Sox, it's always good baseball. It never really goes in our favor, but it's good baseball.
Yeah, I've already seen a few Red Sox jerseys.
Yeah, they're out there. It'll be mainly clear tonight as far as your weather, with temperatures dropping down to a mild 50 degrees. Tomorrow we expect a little bit of clouds rolling in, keeping the temperatures at a comfortable 75. That's it for your headlines with that, Mike Hawkazai.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time for Sit and Spin. Tomorrow on Sit and Spin, we've got artists that almost died on stage.
So they're still alive.
They're still
but
alive.
They almost died.
They almost died. Lovely Jolene's coming up next.
All right, it's all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best, and for Letha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, it's easy to connect to vibrant destinations across Europe. Whether you're sipping espresso in stylish Milan or raising a stein at Oktoberfest in Munich, Condor makes your journey just as enjoyable as your destination. With spacious cabins and relaxing service, your vacation starts the moment you board. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is already hiring for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Job seekers never pay a fee at Express. Go to expresspros.com to find your location. That's expresspros.com.
Ever walked past a place for rent and wish you could just peek inside? Maybe even explore the layout? Envision the natural light streaming through the windows? Or plan where your vinyl record collection would go? At Apartments.com, you can. With tools like their 3D virtual tours, you can see the exact unit you'd be living in. Really envision yourself in your new home with Apartments.com. The place to find a place.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.